After Hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station. Evan Roberts. Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 1019 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Evan without Tiki, without Morash, but I got Connor with me. I almost want to sing that old Tiffany song. I think we're alone now. I don't think anybody is a da-da. I don't know the rest of the words, I have to be honest. Welcome into a Wednesday. I am Evan Roberts. We are here for the next 4 hours. There's a lot of bad baseball to talk about. I came up with something. If you went to the Met game last night and you stayed for a full 9 innings, which means you stayed through 3.5 hours of bad baseball, and you stayed through misting, it's like water torture because it's not raining, but it's like misting on your face. I want to give someone something for that. And I don't want to give you free Met tickets because that would be like more torture. So what I would say is if you went and stayed till all 9 innings of last night's Met disaster and you call up and talk about it, I will give you a good job, bro. That's what you'll get, like a pat on the back. But let's start with the Yankees. The Yankees lost last night to the Tampa Bay Rays. And let me get one thing off my chest. Yes, the Yankees struck out a lot. Yes, the Yankees struck out a lot the day before. That is not the reason the New York Yankees lost. That's like the added on, let's throw it out there. I can't believe they struck out 17 times. I can't believe they set an American League record. And it is kind of amazing to think that they've struck out 34 times in the last 2 games. It is impressively bad. But let's be real about last night. They lost last night because a starting pitcher by the name of Will Warren couldn't get out bottom of the order hitters in a very mediocre Tampa Bay lineup. That's reason number one. Like if you asked me, if you said, hey, Ev, you watched the Yankee game last night, give me the biggest reason why they lost. Hunter Fiducia hitting a home run off Will Warren is one of the biggest reasons they lost. Another reason they lost is that Cody Bellinger is playing with his head so far up his ass. I don't know what's going on. Not only has Cody Bellinger not hit a lick since Aaron Judge went down, coincidental or not, but as an elite level base runner, which Cody Bellinger has been, he can't make the mistake he made last night to run the Yankees out of an inning. Instead of first and third one out, Cody Bellinger's thinking about going to second on that throw to third. He essentially gets picked off. Cannot happen. So when you combine the fact that Cody Bellinger has not hit for a while, and then you throw in the fact that his base running is now suspect, and even his defense has been suspect, it makes you wonder what the hell's going on with Cody Bellinger. But I'm going to tell you my biggest takeaway as the Yankees lost to Tampa Bay last night and they continue to play this very mediocre baseball all the way around. Like, it's not one thing. It's not just them striking out. It's not just Will Warren. It's not just the bad base running. It's just not the lack of clutch hitting. Like, it's a combination of a lot of different things that's led to where the Yankees are. And to me, I was thinking about this last night. I really believe this, and this is not me trying to prove I'm right about something, because I don't care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But a few weeks ago on this radio station, the debate began. Not just with us, not just with me, Sean, and Tiki, but I think everyone touched on it, which is, should the New York Yankees trade for Tarek Skubal? And one of the arguments against it was, well, they don't really need him. You know, they need a catcher. They need a third baseman. They need bullpen help. Why would you take assets and trade for Tarek Skubal? That was the argument against people like me who said you never have enough starting pitching. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. If you have a chance to go get him, you go get him. Watching the Yankees last night and watching the Yankees over the last few weeks as they have continued to play mediocre baseball, and the cavalry isn't coming, because there's no report that Aaron Judge is walking through that door anytime soon. There's no report Giancarlo Stanton is walking through that door anytime soon. So the only cavalry that's really coming is Max Fried, potentially, which is nice. To me, it reinforces that they must trade for Tarek Skubal. Now, hear me out on that, because the counter would be, how does that help third base? How does that help catcher? How does that help that they desperately miss the bat of Aaron Judge? Here's what it does. It gives the Yankees something that they're far better than everyone else at, and that is a murderous starting rotation. Will Warren is not starting a playoff game in the postseason. At this rate, I don't know if Carlos Rodon is. He's not even healthy. We'll continue to evaluate Garrett Cole and if he continues to improve coming off of Tommy John surgery. But obviously, if Garrett Cole's healthy, he's starting a playoff game. So my thought is, if there's no guarantee Aaron Judge is walking through that door, and there's no magic elixir at catcher, and there's no magic elixir at third base, and sure, I can get a relief pitcher. It's a coin toss on if that reliever is going to be any good. Ryan Helsley and Camilo Doval say hi. You have no idea. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Tampa Bay Rays closer is Brian Baker. I mean, and he's having a great year. He was a mediocre reliever for the last 4 years. So if I can't get the magic elixir at all these other holes the Yankees have, why don't I just go get the best pitcher in baseball and form one of the great rotations in baseball? Because if you're going to win a World Series, if you're going to dance through the postseason, don't you have to be really good at something? Right now, as we sit here in the middle of July, and again, I want to reinforce to you, not that I'm telling you Aaron Judge won't come back, because none of us know, but there's no sign he is coming back. That's how I'd phrase it. I heard a caller to Boomer and Jerry putting out the idea, the conspiracy theory, that the Yankees know Aaron Judge isn't coming back. I'm not going that far, but what I'll tell you is he hasn't had re-imaging, so we have no idea when he's coming back. And I'm not even sure by August 3rd, which is less than a month from now, which is the MLB trade deadline, I'm not sure we're going to get more clarity on it. So if we're not going to get clarity on one of the best hitters in baseball coming back, and sure, we could upgrade at catcher to a degree, and we could upgrade on the margins to a degree at third base. You can do that, and I am certainly not suggesting Brian Cashman shouldn't try to do that. But I look at last night, I look at this Yankee roster, and I look at the flaws that they have, and I say, screw it. Let me build the best rotation in baseball. Let me stack the deck so that in a playoff series, even if I only score 2 or 3 runs a game, I can still win because I'm going to throw Skubal, Cole, and Fried at you. And there ain't a damn team in baseball that can match that. And so watching the mediocrity and watching the struggle and continuing to not know about Aaron Judge and watching last night the head-up-your-ass baseball, whether it's Jose Caballero looking at a pitch that he's taking all the way like it's 3-0. Meanwhile, it's 3-2, and he took a really good at-bat and threw it away. Or it's Cody Bellinger running the bases like, what did John Sterling once say about that?
Run the bases like drunks.
That's what yes, that fit very well last night.
Run the bases like drunks.
I say to myself, screw it. I'm going to build the best rotation I possibly can. So tell me if I'm wrong here. Like, I look at last night and say, this is more of a reason to go trade for Tarek Skubal. It's more of a reason to take my chips and push it into the middle of the table, to quote Jim Fossil. And here's the other thing about doing something aggressive like that. We have said endlessly, I've said it, a lot of other Yankee fans have said it, that the American League is bad, that the American League is flawed. You watch the Tampa Bay Rays over the last 2 days. You want to tip your hat to Kevin Cash? Fine. They're not that good. Cedric Mullins is the cleanup hitter. After their top 3 hitters, which are impressive, in Jonathan Aranda and Yandy Diaz and Junior Caminero, who I have respect for. Those are 3 really good hitters. The rest of that lineup is what the kids like to say, dog poo. It's not that good. They're not that good. The Guardians are not that good. The White Sox are not that good. Mariners are playing a lot better. They're not that good. That is even more of a reason to say, I'm going to pay the price to go get Tarek Skubal. Because even though the Yankees are flawed, even though all your reasons for why the Yankees can't win, they strike out too much, their defense is inconsistent, Aaron Boone has a crush on Anthony Volpe, like every reason you want to give, which all fair flaws to attack the New York Yankees. But if the American League is as mediocre as I think it is, as you think it is, why not even be more aggressive to say, hey, Tarek Skubal could make the difference? I put together this deathly awesome rotation. Then, despite all the flaws I have, I can beat those teams. And I think another reason I feel that way, and maybe this is irrational, and maybe I shouldn't think this way, and I'd be curious if I was thinking this with the Mets, if they were any good, but they suck, obviously. The fact that we're staring at a lockout and so much uncertainty in 2027 in a weird way, almost makes me want to be more aggressive in 2026. It's like an end of the world syndrome, right? It's like if somebody told you the world is over in 3 weeks, like it's done, and there ain't a damn thing you could do about it, you're probably going to go a little crazy. You're probably going to have a little bit more fun, right? Some of us may try to find solutions like, how do I avoid the world ending in 3 weeks? But if someone told you the world is ending in 3 weeks, you're probably, you're going to be a little bit more aggressive. You're not going to save all that money that you have in your bank account. You're going to buy something amazing. In a weird way, because of the pending lockout and the fact that we all expect that next season is either not going to happen or it's going to be weird, it almost makes me more aggressive in saying, okay, they want George Lombard, fine. And I know that may sound nuts, but hear me out on this with George Lombard Jr. Number one, he's hurt right now. He's on the injured list. Not that that's going to derail his career, but it is derailing the potential of him helping the Yankees now. And that's what I'm worried about. I'd be worried about right now. I'd be worried about this season because I don't know if there's a next season. I also don't know what Garrett Cole is next season or Aaron Judge if he even comes back next season. Like, there are so many crazy things about the future that make me want to be more aggressive right now. Now, I don't even know if George Lombard Jr., your top prospect, is going to even be the cost for Tarek Skubal. I mean, let's be honest. Like, the Tigers decide, all right, we're going to trade this guy. We're not going to be able to re-sign him. We're not really in a pennant race in the American League. We're going to sell him off. I think they'll do well. I think they'll get a good return. I don't know if they're getting some prospect-rich, no-brainer, that's nuts kind of return. Like, they're not getting what the Nationals got for Juan Soto a few years ago. This is a free agent rental. And it's not only a free agent rental. Most of the teams that would aggressively go after Skubal are going to have zero interest or abilities to even re-sign him. So if Tampa Bay goes after Tarek Skubal, and why not? I mean, they're trying to win the whole thing. I'd have the same thought about the Rays I have with the Yankees. Screw it. I got a good rotation as it is. Let me make it better. Let me have something that's even more unbeatable because God knows the rest of my lineup isn't very good. And even if I don't re-sign him, I give myself a chance to win the World Series right now. I up my chances. But Tampa Bay would be trading for him with zero possibilities of re-signing him. While I think it's unlikely the Yankees would invest in another starting pitcher on a long-term deal, you can never rule everything out. You just can't. But watching this team and watching their flaws and watching last night, and honestly, all their flaws are on display last night. Will Warren's come back to earth, struggling against the bottom of Tampa's order. The offense continues to just be blah, even in a game where they score 4 runs. It could have been more. They had other opportunities. Yes, they're striking out a million times. But yes, they desperately miss their best hitter, who's not walking through that door anytime soon, making bad base running calls, which we saw with Cody Bellinger. Like, it was really all of the pimples that the Yankees have. It just reminds me, stack the deck as much as you can with the things that you're good at. Like, if the one move the Yankees make at the trade deadline is trading for Tarek Skubal, I get that catcher is still a liability. I don't disagree with that. And third base will feel like a liability. Your bullpen actually could be fixed because it gives you some creativity to use some of your starting pitchers in bullpen roles. And that's not a guarantee to work, obviously, because you're asking someone to change their role in the middle of the season. But at least that may be a solution. And sometimes that may be a better solution than acquiring a reliever who falls off a cliff, which we've seen before. Relievers are no sure thing. Even if you brought Luke Weaver back, like even if the Mets and Yankees made some kind of crazy deal for Luke Weaver, would it really stun anybody if Luke Weaver walked through that door and all of a sudden he got the Yankee-itis he had last year in the second half of the year where you didn't want to pitch him? Where he became an unpitchable mess despite the fact that Aaron Boone said, I'm making the call to Luke Weaver.
Here's a call to the bullpen you can make. Ask for a salad.
Well, I had my physical yesterday, Mr. Boone, and some of my reports are pretty good. Actually, my cholesterol's a tad high, so I'm trying to improve that. So trading for a starter like that not only stacks the deck in terms of your rotation being elite, but it does give you possibilities, creative possibilities, on improving your bullpen. So that's what I would do. Now, is Brian Cashman going to do that?
I think we're pretty good.
Is he going to say to himself, you know what, we got a lockout next year. Yes, our pitching is probably our strongest suit, despite what's happened recently, the injury to Carlos Rodon. I don't know if he would think this way. I just know I would think this way. I would say to myself, I'm just going to put together one of the great rotations and go from there. Because for all the negativity that Yankee fans have about this team, and a lot of it is completely fair with the kind of baseball they've played now for a while, and with the uncertainty around Aaron Judge, if I told you you're adding Tarek Skubal, he's in your rotation, and all of a sudden now, with the same flaws and same issues that you have with this lineup, you're going into the postseason, and you are deploying a rotation of Skubal and Cole and Schlittler and Fried, I'll take my chances. Doesn't mean you can't lose a 1-0 game here and there, or a 2-1 game, or the pimples may not show up at the most inopportune time. But I'll tell you right now, I would consider that team to be the favorite to come out of the American League. So the more the issues pop up, the more I say, screw it, go get Skubal. That's not a rhyme. I should ask AI to come up with a rhyme for trading for Tarek Skubal, like Craig did many years ago with trading for Brett Favre, even though that really didn't work out for us. So it's not like. Can you come up with one, Connor? A rhyme for trading for Tarek Skubal? That's a tough one to rhyme, isn't it?
There's not a lot of things that rhyme with Skubal.
Do you go with Tarek? Maybe you go the Tarek way?
Maybe Tarek. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it during the break. We'll give you a few. Plus, we'll get to your phone calls at 888-808-1019. And we need to get to the bottom of what the hell happened with Jose Caballero in the second inning when he had this really good quality at-bat, and then all of a sudden on a 3-2 pitch just gave up. It's almost like he had a bet on the game. That's how bad it was. We'll examine it and hear how the Yankee broadcasts reacted to that ever so bizarre moment in last night's Yankee game. Plus, we'll hear from Met fans who got to experience a game they will never forget. A historic, blunder-filled, ugly, rainy, what the hell was that game against the Kansas City Royals? Toll-free numbers 888-808-1019. Right now, it's time for the Yankee Turning Point of the Game contest. The first call to correctly identify yesterday's Turning Point of the Game at 866-540-WFAN. You will receive a $100 Wendy's gift card. It's from our friends at Wendy's. Eat great, even late at Wendy's, and your flagship station for New York Yankee baseball, The Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you, at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
Training camp is right around the corner, and nobody gets you ready for football season like WFAN.
It's a good variety of coverage.
From roster moves to quarterback questions to the biggest stories in the NFL, our experts have you covered. Get ready for Kickoff 2026 on WFAN.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Here's a World Soccer Championship recap.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's, and by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Trailing 2-0 deep into the second half, it looked like defending champion Argentina was on its way out to Egypt, and then Lionel Messi stepped in with a goal and an assist to lead Argentina to a 3-2 come-from-behind win. There is more video review controversy with an apparent goal by Egypt ruled out after a lengthy review. I'm Mike Conti.
Bring the flavor to the World Soccer Championship with Crush Orange Soda. Crush is the perfect pick for every match, highlight, and game-winning goal. Make every match even sweeter with Crush Orange Soda.
We all do it. You have a night for yourself but don't like the sound of the silence, so you turn on the TV just for the ambience. It's a little trick that helps you feel like you've got company and aren't alone. And other insurers, well, they may make you feel alone. But when you switch to Geico, you've got claims reps available around the clock. So whenever you need, you'll have people around to help. And let's turn on the washing machine, just for good measure. Isn't that soothing?
It feels good to have support. It feels good to Geico.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple or strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. A whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small. We've helped mark the moments that matter the most to our customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As we celebrate a century of excellence, we thank you for being part of our story, and we look forward to the moments still to come. We invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Optimal Fibers in the house. Y'all know the number. 877-393-4448. Optimum Fiber, so fast, so fine. Got another provider leaving behind. Come on, everybody, let's get online. $30 a month, gonna blow your mind. 5 whole years, don't hesitate. Lock it in now before it's too late. 877-393-4448. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
The summer is here and it is hot. If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, you got to think again. Sloman's is here to change the game with their super savings sale. They're offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R454B systems, expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right, you get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive 5-year service plan that includes annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Servicing all of Long Island and Queens, you can call the team at Sloman's today, 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But you got to hurry, these cool savings aren't going to last. So don't miss out. Call 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. That's ac.slomans.com. Terms and conditions do apply.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's.
The U.S. plays on home soil with a squad full of big stars and a new generation of attacking talent. Their youthful, high-pressing style and a gifted forward who thrives in big moments make them a genuine threat to advance deep.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
You can feel it in the air, can't you? The days are getting longer, the temperature's getting warmer. Now is the time for summer road trips. You need a vehicle that makes every drive an adventure, and that's where the Ford Explorer ST line really does shine. Their ST line is a sharp-looking appearance package. It's got a blacked-out grille and 21-inch alloy wheels. And the best part, it's available with Ford Blue Cruise, their hands-free highway driving, making long road trips so much smoother. The Explorer ST line. Test drive one today at your local Ford stores.
The Mets are making noise in Queens. What's your take on the Amazings? Call us now at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Today is a very big day, selfishly, because if you're an OG listener to Joe and I from back in the day, you may know that I used to bike to work a lot. When I lived in Queens and even when I lived in Westchester, I would drive to a secret spot in New York City, park my car, and then bike the 6 miles to work. And then I stopped. I stopped because of the time change.
How much weight did you lose doing it?
Oh, a ton. I was in the best shape of my life. But when I got moved to afternoons in 2020, I stopped. The hours just did not work for that plot. And so now that I'm back home, if you will, I started to flirt for the last 7 months of, I got to get back to biking. But I've been so out of it. It's been so long. Today, July 8th, and I figured today was the perfect day to do it because I was in the studio by myself. Connor's on the other side of the glass. I said, I got to bike again. And I don't want to change. I don't want to do the shower that Boomer used to make fun of me for doing in the bathroom because half our bathrooms don't work. So today's the perfect day to try it, see how much I smell. If I do smell, it doesn't matter. Nobody's in the studio. Screw Big Mac at 2 o'clock. That's his problem. And I feel great. And as I was biking down that West Side Highway bike route, it was like I never left. I'm looking at the Hudson River to my right. I'm looking at all these new things that were built to my left. The bikers are as obnoxious and jackass-airy as they've ever been. I'm the only biker that actually lets pedestrians cross. Every other biker's like, I'm just going to fly right past you.
Especially the motorized bike where they're going like 75, 80 miles an hour with the DoorDash. They don't care at all. They'll run you right over.
They'll run your ass over. And I've always been a believer, like, there are rules. Like, I'm actually going to let this person cross. But damn, what a feeling. It was such a good feeling. And here I am, Connor, trying to get back to the best shape of my life.
Do you have the issue where, because I used to ride my bike a little bit, where I didn't do it for a little while, and then your butt gets a little bit sore sitting on the seat? You have that problem?
Biggest adjustment. Now, I started biking again. I did it with my oldest son. We've gone on some bike routes, but limited amount of biking. So my ass is starting to get kind of back used to it. But no, it's absolutely an adjustment. It's crazy, but it's good to be back. And I feel more refreshed today because of it.
Got a little cardio in, feeling good, a little biker's high?
You're damn right. You're damn right. The one thing is, because of the fact I'm older and I care less, I don't think I'm going to shower here. Like, I just think Tiki's going to have to deal with it. And honestly, I think Tiki's best equipped to deal with the smells because he was in an NFL locker room for like half of his life. So you would think that if anybody's going to be okay with working with somebody who smells bad, it'd be Tiki.
Like, I have to imagine the NFL huddle with the big lineman in there must smell worse than you after biking.
1,000%. No question Jeremy Shockey had BO. There's no doubt. So we'll welcome Tiki back tomorrow and see how that goes. See how he feels about that. I will get your phone calls, a lot on the New York Yankees to start, including the fact that the more you watch this flawed team, the more I say to myself, I would get Tarek Skubal. I would try to create the best rotation I possibly could because right now the Yankees aren't great at anything. That would be your chance to be great at something. And to the Met fans out there, they announced 32,000 people at Citi Field last night. I would say there was more, about 18,000 people at Citi Field last night. I was one of them. I stayed the entire game. If you stayed the entire game, like you went and you stayed, because that's the key, I'm going to give you something special. I'm going to give you a good job, bro. I wouldn't give you free tickets because I feel like that's more torture. I feel like that's more of a penalty and a booby prize than anything else. But if you are one of the lucky people that pulled it off last night, we are your safe space. So let's get to your calls. 888-808-1019, the number. Let's kick it off up in Buffalo with Paul. What's going on, Paul?
Evan, am I remembering wrong here? Didn't you almost get hit by a car biking into work?
I didn't almost get hit by a car. I got hit by a car. Yes, that is true.
Evan, you got to learn. Someone could sneeze and jerk your steering wheel. You dead? You crazy? You got a great life. You can't risk your life just to go to work.
Hold on a second. And I appreciate your concern, but don't you have risks in life with everything you do? Like, you walk across the street in New York City, you can also be run over by a car. You drive in New York City, you can be in a horrible accident. Like, doesn't everything come with risks?
Yes, indeed. And I don't live in New York City, but I do live in the city of Buffalo. And I think our bicyclists are crazy. First of all, any adult riding on city streets should have insurance if they're going to have a bicycle, and certainly a bicycle with an electric motor. If they're going 30 miles per hour, they need to have insurance.
I don't.
It is ridiculous in a state as litigious and as overregulated as New York. Bicycles haven't been made to have insurance.
But by the way, you make some really good points, and I do want to reassure you before you make your baseball point. My biking has been affected by being hit by a taxi. Like, I spend far less time biking in New York City streets. The route I take is actually on a specialized bike route for 97% of the trip. I am only on a New York City street for like a block and a half. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, no, that's reasonable.
No, and a part of that was, it was horrible. Like, I got, excuse me, Connor, was that appropriate at all? Like, that did affect me. So I do not bike the streets nearly as much as I used to. But I genuinely appreciate your concern. Now, what do you think about the Yankees?
All right, this is a point I used to make to Sal when he hosted the overnights.
Yes.
You don't pay starting pitchers. You draft them and use them up as youngsters because you pay for them to be injured for years. In the history, and this is a question I've asked Al Cintron, who should have the overnights exclusively, in my opinion. In the history of the employment of the big three, Garrett Cole, Max Fried, and Carlos Rodon, they have never been healthy for 30 consecutive days in pitching together for the New York Yankees, all three of them, and they never will in the history of those contracts. Looking back in hindsight, I would so much rather pay Juan Soto $50 million a year and have $40 million extra dollars in salary to spend however I want than those three oft-injured stiffs who do not perform like aces in the playoffs.
Well, I don't think that's fair. That last point is not necessarily fair about Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole has performed like an ace at times in the postseason. Max Fried has a very mixed bag. Obviously, so far with the Yankees, it's more bad than good. But this is a guy that also pitched a really good game in Game 6 of the World Series, despite his overall postseason numbers not being good. But I want to get back to your overall point. Your overall point, while very fair and something worthy of a debate on, is absolutely irrelevant to the point I'm making. My point is renting Tarek Skubal. My point is more similar to what you were trying to say than paying a starting pitcher and giving him a bunch of years. I already have Max Fried. I already have Garrett Cole. I already have Carlos Rodon. Those decisions have been made. We can go through it and debate if it was the right decision or wrong decision. I'm merely pointing out through August, September, and an October run, my best chance, in my opinion, of winning a world championship with the New York Yankees is to stack my rotation even more. I mentioned earlier the odds of re-signing Skubal are not that high. So it's not about re-signing Tarek Skubal. It's not about giving him a 9-year contract. It's about trying to win right now. And if anything, your opening point was that you used to say to Sal and Al Cintron, hey, just use them up when they're under team control. Use them up when you're young. Well, that's essentially what I'd be doing. I'd be trading for the man, saying, all right, go make me 10 starts in August and September, and then come October, I need you to deliver. And depending on how far I go, hopefully it's more than one start. Hopefully it's more than 2 starts. Hopefully it's 5 or 6 starts. And then when free agency hits, completely different discussion. So this is not about paying Tarek Skubal. This is about acquiring Tarek Skubal. Let's go to Chris in Stamford, Connecticut. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Evan. Thanks for taking the call. I was at the game last night. I stayed for the full 9 innings. I was there with a big group from my church. The Mets actually gave us 50 free tickets, and we managed to have a great time, even though the product is not great, obviously. But 2 highlights from the game. My son, Tommy, was one of the kids that went up to the upper deck right field, took the shirt off, and they were having a ball, leading all sorts of funny chants.
Yeah.
And then we were on the Jumbotron. That was really fun, too. And my little baby niece was there, Gianna. we had a great time. So
Wow.
it's what you make of it. I know they stink, but we had a blast. We had an awesome time.
Did you guys ever have a discussion of leaving early, or was that never on the table?
No. We never leave early. We always stay, and we made the most of it, and we had a lot of fun. It was almost like we had the place to ourselves. We had more fun. It was always awesome.
Well, on behalf of Connor, myself, and everybody here at WFAN, that's a good job out of you, bro. That's what you get. That's a good job out of you, bro. I have to admit, I've always been a stickler to never leave a game early. It was something that my dad taught me at a young age. We never leave games early. I have softened over the last few years, and I'm going to tell you the two reasons I've softened. Not by myself, not with another adult. Then the rule is hard fast. Like, screw you, I ain't leaving. But number one, if I have one of my kids with me, I need to be compassionate to whether it's school the next day, camp the next day, the weather sucks. Like, I have to factor that in. And unlike my dad in 1992, if I leave in the seventh inning, I could go home and start the game from where I left, which was not an option 35 years ago. So I will tell you that if Evan from 2014 was having this discussion, I would say there's no way I'd leave. I can count on one hand emergencies as the only time I've left a game early. But, like I said, for those two reasons, I'm more open-minded. So last night, I took my oldest son, and he does have camp today. And it was raining. And I'm allowing my son to make his own life decisions sometimes. Like, sometimes I have to overrule him, but for the most part, I'm letting him learn, live and learn, I think is the phrase. So he insisted on shorts and a T-shirt. And I said, it's going to be kind of nippy. Temperature's going to drop. It may rain. I'd bring some pants. And he said, no. And I said, okay. I mean, it is what it is. I did bring a blanket, though, because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to bring the clothes that he doesn't want. I'll bring a blanket just in case. And as the rain is falling and the temperature for first pitch was 69 degrees, nice, and it was dropping and it was raining, I could see him getting a little cold. And there was one conniption incident in the middle of the game, which is, that's what happens with kids. You have to live with that.
Mets suck.
And by the seventh inning and then the eighth inning, as this game was completely out of reach, 16-9 at that point, after that poor kid from New York, Matt Seelinger, whatted the bed in his 2 innings of work, I looked at him. I offered it. I said, son, you think we should go home? And he said, no. And I said, really? And he said, no. I mean, why would we? You never know what's going to happen. And I said, you're right. Think about all the things you're seeing that you may never see ever again. And that was kind of the crazy thing about last night's Met game. In the first inning, you saw a Little League inside the park home run, as it's now been called. When are you ever going to see that? 3 errors on one play? Connor, have you ever seen that at a baseball game?
I have never seen that. Nope.
Never. I'd have to go back to all my scorecards, and I'm not going to do that. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 errors on one play. So you had that. Then you had Tyler Tolbert, and I had no idea he was doing this, go 5 for 5, the last 3 infield hits, very lucky, in which he ties a modern record for the most at-bats in a row with a hit. When are you going to see that? You're not going to see that. Then you got A.J. Ewing putting on a show, Juan Soto hitting a home run, Jorge Polanco hitting a home run that isn't a home run but is foul. You got 18 reviews, ABS review, stolen base reviews. You have the Mets blowing a 3-run lead, a 3-run lead, a 5-run lead, then going down behind by 7, and then cutting it to 4. Like, that was amazing when you really think about it. And so
at least it wasn't a 1-0 snoozer game where the Mets struck out, 17, 18 times. It was, you saw 28 runs at least.
You saw 28 runs. And Connor, I'm being serious. I think this is one of those games that 10 years from now, because 2026 will always go down as just a horrible season in Met history, and you'll forget a lot of the bad stuff. It'll just be rolled into one. Like if I bring up 1992 or 1993, you don't really remember a lot of stuff other than the fact they sucked. I honestly think you remember this game.
Yeah, how many games will you go to where there's 28 runs scored?
28 runs, you blow 3 different leads, you see a Little League home run, you see a poor guy who's making his major league debut, he's from Westbury and Matt Seelinger, and then he gets booed off the mound.
Guy goes 5 for 5, Ewing has a big game.
Like, that was unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm glad we stayed. I'm glad that Jet gave the right answer.
More entertaining than the Yankee game. Watching them swing and miss the whole game.
You know what? You could argue that. I think that's a very fair argument. What was more entertaining last night? The Met Royal game, in which it was just the follies of two horrible baseball teams, or a battle between, let's face it, the two best teams in the American League, in the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. With that said, if you went to last night's game like I did, I needed a night off. Like, I'm not going tonight. Like, I'm sorry. This is one of those nights where you could pay me money, and I would say, I'm not doing that. I'm going to sit home in the warm confines of my house, and I'm going to avoid all of it. Because the thing about misty rain, is that it's water torture. Like, I never understood that. Remember all the controversies in 2005, 2006? Like, we were doing water torture on prisoners of war during the Iraq War. Do you guys remember that controversy? And my first reaction, this is how naive and stupid I was at 23 years old, and maybe I still am. My reaction is, it doesn't really seem that bad.
Very nasty.
Like, well, okay, you're pouring water on the guy. Like, okay, like, why is that?
Just drink the water.
Just drink it. And by the way, water's refreshing. Like, I don't understand it. So I had that opinion. Then I started doing more research. And then I tried it. Like, I tried to drip water on my head very slowly. It is torture. And I was so wrong about it. Like, it is a torturous thing, and it was cruel that we did that, right? If you sit through a baseball game in just misty rain, like, it's not raining hard, it's just mist. By the third hour of it, it starts to get to you. Like, at first, it's refreshing. It's like, that feels all right. But by the time you've been doing it for 3.5 hours and the mist just continues to drop and drop and drop, you're actually going crazy. So that's another reason why it's a good job out of you if you actually stayed for 3.5 hours in all 9 innings. Let's go to Pat on Long Island. What's up, Pat?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good, man.
Off topic, but my brother is a Mets, Jets, Nets fan like yourself, so
wow.
I know the level of suffering. I've dealt with it my entire life with him. But I just wanted to say, in regard to Skubal and the Yankees, like, the Tigers are getting back into this. Like, I don't see them trading Skubal at this point in time unless they completely fall apart before the deadline. I think it's just Yankee arrogance to think, they could definitely land Skubal. Like, the American League stinks. Like, I see the Tigers going for it. They're only 5 out, 6 out of the division. Like, I don't see them just giving away Skubal if they're like 4 or 5 games out. I think they're going to go for it with them.
So I'll say this as an IBO, and it's always tough to get into a team's head on what they're going to do. I take this on 2 levels. Number one, I don't think they're going to be able to re-sign him. They never made serious offers to extend him. And even though Detroit is capable of it, because they did extend Justin Verlander a decade plus ago, so they have the money if they want to spend it, they have not shown any indication that they're willing to do so. So step one, let's just live in this world, if you agree with me, that the Tigers are not keeping him. And they know that whether it's before the lockout or after the lockout, he's going to sign elsewhere. Number two, you're right about where they are in the standings. They're 6.5 games out. That doesn't feel completely buried. They're 5 games back in the wild card race, even though there's like 8 teams ahead of them. You're right. Like, mathematically, they are there. If they're going to continue to be 9 games under 500, they've won 3 in a row to get to 9 games under 500. But if they're going to be, I'd say 5 under and worse, I don't think they're going to look at it as, well, we're only 4 or 5 games out. I think in that regard, record's going to matter. Now, you're right in that, could Detroit take this 3-game winning streak, make it a 9-game winning streak, and all of a sudden get to 500 and really put themselves in this race? Sure. And I think that would change things. But as of right now, July 8th, in which we still have a good 3 weeks plus before they have to make a final decision, they have got to make more of a move than being 9 games under 500. I'm sorry. I don't fully agree with you that where they are as of right now is enough for them to say, we're in it. I just don't think it is. I think they need to make more of a move. So I'm not saying it from Yankee arrogance. I'm saying it as an IBO. I'm saying it as a baseball fan. As of now, I think they're going to trade him. And as of now, if I'm the Yankees with the uncertainty around Aaron Judge and all the flaws I have, I wouldn't argue, but I need this more. I'd argue this would make me really, really, really awesome at one aspect of my team. I'd have a murderous starting rotation. So if he's out there, I'm going to make every effort to go get him. Let's go to Joe in Monmouth County. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how you doing, Evan? I was at the game with eight of my family. The thing is they enjoyed the game because it's something you never see in a baseball game. I also felt like I wasn't going to leave that game because the way it was going, I felt like the Mets could have came back in that game. they had a chance. They had two men on, and Polanco, I guess, I think he flew out, right? With 2 outs.
Yes.
If he hits a home run there, now we're down 1 run going into the 9th inning. I'm thinking to myself, maybe we'll see something special, but of course it's the Mets. So I'm going back on Friday, the Boston game, because I have 2 Boston friends, and that's probably going to be my last game, except the end of the season when Baltimore comes in, when we can chant Pete. So I can't wait for that.
Dude, that place is going to be nuts for that game. Like, I'm starting to think about how crazy that could be. When the schedule first came out, actually it was after that because the schedule came out before Pete left. When Pete went to Baltimore and you all look ahead, we all look ahead and say, oh, when's his return date? I saw, okay, a Monday in September. Like, there'll be a good crowd and people will give him a nice hand. And, yeah, it's in the middle of a pennant race, but football season's here. School just started. Like, I expected a full crowd and just a nice night. Very similar to Jake's return. Jacob deGrom's return was on a Friday night last year. Granted, it was years later. And he got a nice hand. It was weird because Jonathan gave up 100 runs in the first inning. So by the time deGrom took the mound, the game was essentially over. But I think when you factor in how bad the Mets have been and how that is the next relevant game they're going to play, I am now fully expecting they're going to get 40,000 people, and it is going to be a bleep show. Like, it is going to be the Tom Seaver return a million years later, where the crowd's going to root for him. Like, usually when a guy comes back, you give him a cheer, and then he's the enemy, and you root against him. I think that Monday night is going to be a spectacle. So I agree with you about that. And you are right. I think when you watch a game like that, there's a part of you that says, even though they're the Mets and you don't trust them and they're down by 4 runs, wow, they could come back. And you mentioned Polanco came up with 2 guys on base down by 4 runs. The count was 3-1. So I thought, wow, Polanco draws a walk. The Mets are going to bring the tying run to the plate, and we would see if Andy Green would pinch hit for Jared Young with Mark Vientos against the lefty, or does he let Jared Young face the lefty? What do you do? And unfortunately, you're right. Polanco flied out, and then in the 9th inning, I mean, the Mets embarrassed themselves. It was like a 5-pitch 9th inning. So everybody who stayed thinking there'd be some kind of crazy comeback, yeah, didn't exactly get that. Anyhow, to Joe, our last caller, like I said, you stayed all 9 innings. That's a good job out of you, bro. Let's go to Mike in Maywood. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Evan, how's it going?
Good.
I just want to talk about the approach with the Yankees right now. I mean, I'm a huge Yankee fan. I've been watching every game, every inning, this whole stretch they've been going on, and it's just like they made Jack and Seymour look like Nolan Ryan and prime Randy Johnson. And it's like Caballero hit 2 home runs 2 nights ago. Yesterday, he strikes out 4 times. He strikes out 1 pitch that was right down the middle. He's walking to first base. And it's like, I don't even know if they need Skubal because this hitting just is killing me. I don't even know how it's going to change in the playoffs either.
Well, but you know what's misleading about what you just said? Like, take Ian Seymour last night. He struck out 12 guys. Fantastic. He gave up 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings. Like, he gave up a 3-run home run to Ben Rice. Like, if you just take the strikeouts out, and for anyone who says, well, you can't do that, Evan, well, why can't I? Like, unless the strikeout caused you to not get a runner home from third or it took away a productive out, what the hell's the difference if you line out, strikeout, pop-up, or ground out? Like, ultimately, the Yankee offense chased Ian Seymour after 5 1/3 innings and got 3 runs off of him. I'm not saying there should be a parade for that, but that was not like the worst, most pathetic offensive performance you'll ever see. And on the other side, yeah, Griffin Jacks got off to this great start, and he was striking out 1 million guys, and he was perfect through 4. You got him for a 3-run home run, too. So think about this for a second. And this isn't defending the Yankees. This is just the reality of how the strikeouts are like morphing everybody's brain in a weird way. The starting pitchers for the Rays went 5 innings, 3 runs, and 5 1/3, 3 runs. Now, I'm not great at math, but do you know what that ERA is? It ain't good. It's like a 5 ERA. I'm being serious. But you're distracted by the 22 strikeouts. And while, yeah, strikeouts are bad and you prefer contact and good things can happen if you make contact, like I get all of that, the Yankees actually scored runs against the 2 Tampa Bay starters. So it was more than just that. It wasn't just, wow, they didn't do enough against the starting pitching. Not in these 2 games. Again, 10 1/3 innings, and you scored 6 runs. Do the math on that. In fact, I'm going to. Oh, by the way, we did research on a rhyme for Tarek Skubal. It is like impossible. Connor Green came up with the only one that I think is like somewhat doable on creating a Cartonian rhyme for the Yankees acquiring Tarek Skubal. Why don't you tell the audience what you got?
Maybe don't be a wet noodle. Trade for Tarek Skubal.
There you go.
I mean, it's not the best, but it's kind of tough. I Googled things that rhyme with Skubal. There's really not too much.
Nah, it's just...
It's like orange.
It doesn't work. It's true. I even tried Tarek. There's nothing with Tarek. Don't panic. Go get Tarek. And some people call him Tariq, but it's not pronounced Tariq. It's pronounced Tarek. Anyhow, the Tampa Bay starters in the 2 games against the Yankees in this series, despite 1 million strikeouts, I did the math, 5.23 ERA. Think about that for a second. So the strikeout thing is like, I get it. It's just fodder, man. It's about scoring runs. And yeah, the Yankees aren't scoring enough runs, but against the 2 Tampa Bay starters, they actually went out and scored a bunch of runs. Let's go to Tom in Vero Beach, Florida. What's going on, Tom?
Evan, how are you? I just want to say I'm a huge fan. I listen every day. So I want to clarify something.
Yes.
It would be great for the Yankees to have Skubal. Evan, the old saying goes, good pitching beats good hitting.
Yeah.
When you're doing 33 strikeouts in 2 games, that's a problem. One guy this team needs is Luis Arise, and I'm done with the Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe show. And literally, I know the Yankees are never going to get rid of Brian Cashman. He's going to be the GM until he's 80.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm sure we'll see, or maybe even older than that, and I'm sure we'll see Aaron Boone for the next 10 years because, he loves the Yankees.
Well, can I go back to something you said, though? Because I want to push back on something.
Please,
so,
absolutely.
In the 2 games against Tampa, the Yankees have scored 5 runs and 4 runs. Now, again, that's not murderer's row, but that's enough to win a baseball game. If you have great starting pitching, which is what I'm describing, don't you think that would be enough to win games?
Evan, but here's the thing.
Go.
If I want to see a home run derby, I'll watch Monday night's game. How do you have first and third last night, and you got the sack fly? I get that. But if you got runners on, you got to score them. It's like, I'm going to get up and hit a 3-run homer. It's not. You and I both know, Evan, it's not working.
Yeah, but Tom, it is working, and I'm going to give you stats to back it up. Okay, this is annoying, but it's true. I have charted. I'm such a geek. When I say it out loud, I laugh at myself. I've charted every Yankee game this season, my own hand. So I didn't ask AI, I didn't Google it. I've been doing this since day one because it's like a science experiment. How do the Yankees do when they hit home runs versus they don't hit home runs? When they don't hit a home run in a game, they're 6-15. When they hit a home run in a game, they're 44-26. Okay. If they hit 2 or more home runs in a game, they're 32-4. If they hit 1 home run or 0 home runs in a game, their record is 18-37. So when you say it's working, it's not working, they need to hit home runs. And they're not the only team that lives by that. Hitting home runs is a good thing. And remember what you said in your own phone call. You could rewind it on the Odyssey app and kind of think back to what you said at the beginning and what you said at the end. You talked about the strikeouts. But then you also cited that they got a sacrifice fly to get one of the runs home. Well, they picked a pretty good plate appearance to not have a strikeout. My only point, and my overall point is, I'm not defending the Yankee offense. I'm admitting that until Aaron Judge walks through that door, which is not happening anytime soon, the offense isn't going to be great, right? I've accepted that. I've accepted that this is a flawed offensive team. And so my attitude is, if I'm going to be flawed offensively, let me be effing awesome at something else, like my starting pitching. And if I add Skubal to what I already have and what I expect to add to, like a returning Max Fried, I'm putting together one of the great rotations you'll ever see. And if I can scratch out 3 or 4 runs in a playoff game, guess what's likely to happen? I'm likely to win. That's the point. Now let's get to this Yankee turning point from last night. This is always a fun game we play here on Evan and Tiki. So the Yankees took the 3-2 lead, right? So I kind of go back to how the Tampa Bay Rays responded. So I'm going to go with, I got to go with Hunter Fiducia. I think the Hunter Fiducia home run, first of all, it's Hunter Fiducia. This is the biggest problem with Will Warren last night, not getting the guys out that you need to get out. He hits the home run that gives Tampa Bay a 5-3 lead. So Final answer, the Yankee turning point is...
That was not the turning point.
Shut up, Hunter Fiducia.
Warren checks your runner at second, comes to the plate, the pitch, swung on, hit to right field, and hit deep. Going back, Schumann looking up, and it's gone. Home run just to the right of the 382 marker. Hunter Fiducia, a 227 hitting catcher, his second home run this season, and Tampa Bay is in front.
Good job by Dave Sims describing his disgust with facts. That's always a great way. Instead of saying, like, John would say,
run the bases like drunks.
Dave's like, you know what? I'm just going to remind you that he's a light-hitting catcher who sucks. Just so in case you forgot, in case you're like, who's Hunter Fiducia? Let me describe who he is, and so you can know how unacceptable this moment was. More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. Plus, when we come back, we get to the bottom of the mysterious Jose Caballero strikeout in which he gave up before the pitch was actually thrown. Your favorite Knicks champions are heading to Fanatics Fest in New York City, July 16th through the 19th. Don't miss the Kings of New York panel on Saturday, July 18th, a special championship celebration featuring Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. Hear stories from the title run, get behind-the-scenes insight, and experience what it meant to bring a championship back to New York. Plus, limited photo op and autograph tickets for select Knicks stars. And NYC sports legends are still available. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at fanaticsfest.com.
And this Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. What exactly are the Warriors doing? With Shams Charania reporting that LeBron's top three spots are Cleveland, Miami, and Philly. Why are the Warriors still sitting around saving a roster spot for LeBron? Adding him doesn't get them to contender status, and they don't need LeBron to sell tickets as long as Steph Curry's still in town. So what's the point of putting the rest of their offseason on hold when the writing's on the wall that LeBron's not coming to the Bay? I'm Chris Mack.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet match every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Must be 21, please drink responsibly.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This is Mary at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
Hi, I've been dreaming of having an epic college setup.
But your college budget is less than epic.
Way less.
Well, with IKEA, you can get everything you need for college, from bedding to storage and decor, all at a great price.
That's good economics.
Sounds like someone just found their major. Visit IKEA in-store or at ikea.us to get ready for college. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof, we've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists for that. With nearly 50 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
It's a Yingling thing. Watching the grill like it's the championship game. Yelling at the ref as if he can hear you. Sipping a Yingling traditional lager and feeling like the MVP. Brewing America's lager for nearly 200 years.
Get your Yingling Lager at Donovan's Pub in Woodside, the Whalen on 10th Avenue and West 50th, or the Point Bar and Grill in Montauk. Yingling Lager, an ice-cold tradition, ready to be poured. Enjoy a Yingling today.
If you're a small business owner, choosing the right wireless provider can make a huge difference. Trust me on this. That's why I've always and only partnered with Verizon Business. Their My Biz plan makes it easy to build a wireless plan that fits the exact way you work. Period. Stop. Get the flexibility and reliability your business deserves, including built-in security or international calling. Connect with a Verizon Business rep today at verizon.com/bizfans and get started right away.
It's The Road Ahead, brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com and discover movement that inspires. The team from the Bronx continues its final road trip before the break against Tampa Bay, before wrapping up with 3 against Washington.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day, presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at yankees.com/tickets today.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk sports after hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Evan without Tiki, without Morash till 2 this afternoon. Last night in the Yankee game, there was a sequence that I can't figure out. Like, part of why I love baseball, and you saw this even in the Crazy Met Royal game, is you will see things that you've never seen before in baseball. And you're like, man, I've watched baseball for 1,000 years. I've never seen that. Well, last night, in the top of the second inning with 1 out and nobody on, one of the most popular Yankees these days, Jose Caballero, came to the plate. Jose Caballero, the man who had 2 home runs in Game 1 of the series, the man who every sane person has been saying and screaming should be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. And luckily, Aaron Boone listened because he started Jose Caballero at shortstop.
We're really good.
Even though it wasn't like the greatest day for Caballero, he had a bad one.
I feel like kind of kicking myself.
But that's not even the point. Like, you can't be perfect every day.
It's a sickness.
He comes up in the second inning and has like a pretty good at-bat, right? He fouls a couple of balls off. It's a 3-2 count. He fouled 2 pitches off in a row. It's 3-2, so quality at-bat, 8th pitch of the at-bat, and Jose Caballero, as the pitch is being thrown, gives up, like steps out, essentially, like you would see on a 3-0 pitch. Like sometimes on 3-0, you kind of do that, like, taking all the way. That's the way it's phrased, taking all the way. Sometimes even on the first pitch of an at-bat, you'll see guys do that. But on a 3-2 count, I've never seen that before. So before I give you my theory, let's listen to how the Yankee broadcast teams reacted to it, because they both reacted in a shocking way. Let's start off with what you heard on the Yes Network last night. As Michael Kay was calling the game with Joe Girardi, this is the reaction to the Jose Caballero, I'm giving up on this pitch.
And he took all the way and right down the middle. What was that, Joe?
I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he tried to call timeout and the umpire didn't grant it to him. I don't see him saying anything.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I think we both don't know what we just saw.
I have no idea. Usually I can come up with a theory.
Can't even make something up on that.
No, because he was looking right at him.
Weird.
Bizarre. Like, both these guys who've watched a ton of baseball, one of which is a world championship manager, could not come up with a theory. Now, the timeout idea is an interesting one. Caballero used his timeout earlier in the at-bat. So it is possible that Caballero was thinking about calling for timeout, but then realized, oh, wait, I can't. But if you watch closely, you never see Caballero make a mention of it or make a reference to it or even move his hands or his mouth. So the timeout is a nice theory, but there's no evidence he was doing that. Let's hear the radio, guys. Now, Susan was off, so you had the great Emmanuel Barbari filling in. Here's Dave Sims and Emmanuel also reacting to the bizarre Caballero take.
Here comes a 3-2 from Seymour. Long hold. And a pitch. Strike 3 called. Cabby dropped his bat. He got a fastball. He's looking for a breaking ball. Didn't get it. And there's 2 down. That's back-to-back. Matter of fact, 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Seymour. And it's a fourth strikeout, second looking.
Dave, that was a little odd. Cabby, before the pitch was even released, started to get out of the hitting position and signaled towards dropping the bat, so confident that it would be low and he would walk right at the knees for strike 3.
Yeah, that was unusual. I've never seen that before.
So think about all the people with experience who's never seen it before. I got to hand it to Emmanuel, though, because I'm racking my brain. I think we all are, especially if you went back and rewatched that sequence to try to figure out what was going on. Because, unfortunately, in this day and age, and I heard Jerry Recco mention it this morning, and I'm going to save the audio just in case. He said, boy, if I didn't know better, I would have said he took a bet. That's how weird it looked, how awful it was that he gave up. But I think Emmanuel may be the closest to the right answer, which is that he was expecting something else. And as the ball was leaving Seymour's hands, he thought it was low. Like he thought, that's low, ball 4. I'm not even thinking about it. And he's almost dropping his bat in arrogance that he just drew a walk. And then for whatever reason, maybe he read it wrong completely. Well, he did read it wrong completely. It's down the middle. So that's the only thing I could think of. Now, Dave also implied that he was just looking for something else and he was completely fooled. But even when you're looking for something else and you're completely fooled, you're not dropping your bat. So I think the closest to the pin, if that's the game we're playing on trying to figure out what Caballero did, is actually what Emmanuel said.
Now we're talking.
You're right. Yeah, congratulations, man. Like, I think he just thought, as the ball was coming out of his hands, it's low. I drew a walk. And I'll say this about Cabby, as the Yankee fans like to call him, and I say this as a compliment. It may not come out that way. Real arrogant guy. Like, really likes to showboat. And I don't mind that. I think sometimes you need that on your team. I mean, look at the bat flip from the other night. So I think that was his way of pimping a walk. I think that's what was going on, and I give credit to Barbari because I think he's the one who nailed it.
Now we're talking.
You agree with that, Connor? Is that a fair assessment? Because that was weird.
It was like hard to explain. I thought maybe at first he didn't have the count wrong. He didn't realize there were 2 strikes and he was going to take all the way there. But then when it's called strike 3, he just walks right out of the box like he knew. So I don't know what. I think Emmanuel's probably closest to being right, but he can be a little bit of a head case at times, especially with the way he gets in the box. He waits to the last second. It bothers opposing team managers and pitchers and stuff like that.
And he has said he does that on purpose, which I don't mind. Like, as long as you perform, I think that's okay. And I think teams need a diversity in, like, emotions, a diversity in the way you act. And so I think having that kind of guy, a Josh Hart-like player that just is a pain in the ass, I don't think is a bad thing.
And it does seem like they get so much more life when he's out there than when Volpe's out there.
Well, I've got bad news for you.
What's that?
You don't know what my bad news is?
I think I might know what your bad news is.
I've dove into the numbers on Shane McClanahan. The only Yankee who has hit a home run in their career against Shane McClanahan is Anthony freaking Volpe.
We're hell-bent on being a champion.
So I'm going to make you a little prediction at 11 a.m. in this morning.
He's out there?
He's out there today.
And StatCast, by the way, I saw a thing on the Yankees Reddit. StatCast is saying he's having a good defensive season.
Who's having a good defensive season?
Volpe.
See, that's the thing
That's what they're
about
saying.
Defensive metrics. And that's why whenever we speak on players that are on different teams, I'm always very skeptical because I'm always like, dude, I don't know. You really don't know about a player defensively till you watch him every day. And I mean every day. Like, even if you're just checking on the Mets and Yankees once in a while, you still don't even get a great indication on what a guy is defensively. You really have to watch every single day. And I respect that we're trying to create stats to define that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think they're wildly inaccurate. Honestly, I've seen too many examples where the stats do not back up the eye test, and that would be an example of that. Anthony Volpe is shaky defensively. He was once very good. First few years of his major league career, he was worthy of being a Gold Glover. For whatever reason, he's not that guy. So defensive metrics are one of those things why I say I appreciate your effort. Good job trying. Doesn't work. Speaking of Anthony Volpe, we address a nasty rumor going on around about Anthony Volpe. And if it's true or not, coming up in a little bit. But first, let's get back to your calls, 888-808-1019. I feel a lot of pressure because this call says, I have a question only you can answer. And that puts a lot of pressure on me when I'm the only guy that can answer a question. So, Chris, I will give it my best shot. What do you got?
All right, Evan. Listen, I have the faith. That's why I'm coming to you. But before I get to that, by the way, a little deja vu. Feels like Saturday afternoon, some 15, 20 years ago.
I know. I mean, I've got into a time machine. I'm biking to work. I'm by myself for 4 hours. I don't know where I am right now.
Well, we're happy you're here. Evan, please tell me you're wearing helmets and wrist protectors and all that.
You
stuff,
have to
please.
wear a helmet. I'm going to tell you right now, no joke. Like, if you get on a bike without a helmet, you're a freaking moron. So wear a helmet every single time.
Okay, good. Before I get to the question, just on the Mets, like the previous caller, the beginning of the season, my buddy is a good Red Sox fan, so we always go. So we buy these tickets after the Mets, of course, beat Paul Skeens. He's jacked up. I'm jacked up. We're going to go to the Boston Met game on Friday. Well, now our expectations on both sides are slightly different. So,
yeah.
I'm hoping to get there early, sneak into the clubhouse, and steal Mark Vientos' first base glove. That's my goal now. But
good idea.
Yeah, at this point. And listen, for the Mets, I'm going to get to the question in 1 second. To see Ewing and Bend, this is what we need to do. They need to keep putting them in against lefties. If Ewing can develop the power, which he's only 21, I mean, this clearly is what Met fans need to see. So we got to keep nurturing those young kids and whoever else they can bring up. That's what we have here. Evan, on the trades, and well, let me get to the question. The question is, from what I see, MLB is the only sport of the big four sports that you can't trade a pick for. Am I correct? And if that's the case, why?
Well, you're mostly correct. So that's always been a rule that you can trade draft picks, but teams are allowed to trade what's called competitive balance picks. So there are certain teams, I think that's what it's called. They get competitive balance draft picks, I think based on revenue and payroll and whatnot. So, for example, the Pittsburgh Pirates have one of those picks, and they can trade it. That can be a chip. In fact, there's a world in which the Mets are selling off and they're actually acquiring one of those draft picks. And that's a relatively new rule. I think that started in the last CBA or the CBA before that, where teams are allowed to do that. But no, overall, you are not allowed to trade your draft picks. And they are the one major sport where that is a rule. Could that change in the new CBA? Sure. I see why not, especially if we're going to enter a salary cap league. But I think the reasoning behind it is you have so many pool of minor league players that you can trade. Right? And so good teams can use that pool to acquire veterans who make a lot of money. If now you're including draft picks, I think the fear, at least this is my guess, because it's just always been a rule, the fear would be that these bigger market teams have even more assets that they can trade away to improve their rosters at the trade deadline. But you can trade, because you may see one of these deals before August 3rd. You may hear about a draft pick being traded, and it's happened before. It's one of these competitive balance draft picks, however it's phrased. So luckily, I'm like wiping the sweat off my brow. Luckily, I was able to answer his question. No offense, Chris. Kind of a boring question. I mean, it wasn't that good. I mean, it was a good question. It was just it was an in-the-weeds question.
Do you think you're really the only person that could have answered that?
No, of course not. I think he meant the only person here who could answer that. I think he meant, no offense, Jerry Recco's not answering that question. And he would proudly say, you're right. Craig Carton is not answering that question. And again, he would proudly say, I'm right.
One of those woke libtards.
I'll stop. Let's go to Al in New Jersey. What's going on, Al?
Hey, Ev, how are you?
Good.
First of all, I hope Tiki took that as a compliment when I said he's the most logical person I know. I thought that was a compliment. I hope he took it that way. Anyways.
He did.
All right. Two quick points. First of all, you keep saying that the pool of teams that would be able to find Screwball is very small. We're heading into a salary floor. Once we have the salary floor, all the teams are going to have to be compliant with it. That would significantly increase the pool of teams that will be able to sign Screwball. That's point number one.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that point, because if, let's say, and look, I know it's such a hypothetical, and I'll let you make your next point too, but I just want to go back and forth on this briefly. Let's say there is a salary floor, because we have no idea if their players are ever going to agree to a cap floor, the whole thing. Do you think a team, in an effort to get to 175 or whatever that number is, do you think they would really want to put like 40% of their cap with one player who's a pitcher who pitches every 5 days? I think that team would be even less likely to invest that kind of money in a starting pitcher than even before a salary floor.
Right. Here's the way I look at it. Like, I'd rather invest the extra money in a star player versus overpaying a bunch of average players.
I get you.
I don't know if teams would look at it that way. That's the way I would look at it. But anyways, my second point, I know this will never happen, but interestingly enough, we have 3 chips that the Yankees really, really need. We have Luke Weaver, we have Bo Bichette, and Alvarez. I don't know if there's any scenario for such a trade to happen, but we perfectly line up with the Yankees this year.
Yeah, here's my hesitation, and I'm going to make this clear. This is me speaking. I can't speak for David Stearns, and I certainly don't speak for a lot of Met fans who want to throw eggs at me for making this comment. I genuinely don't care where I trade players. If I've decided to trade that player and I'm getting the best return possible, then I will make the trade with the team I'm uncomfortable with. I think back to Beltran in the year he's going into the Hall of Fame, and in a year in which Zach Wheeler continues to be awesome. The Mets ended up making a great trade for Carlos Beltran. They got Zach Wheeler, so no complaints. The other team that was rumored to be hot and heavy for Carlos Beltran at the time were the Atlanta Braves.
And there was a big debate here, and I remember Joe disagreed with me. Joe was like, can't trade him to Atlanta, no way, no how. And my response was, if the best package is coming from Atlanta, then I'm making that trade. And I feel the same way about the New York Yankees. If the Yankees are making me the best offer for a player I'm trading, I'll make the trade with the Yankees. But you name 3 players who, if the Mets are trying to compete in 2027, they really shouldn't trade. If they're trying to compete in 2027, don't you want Luke Weaver on a 1-year contract? If you're trying to compete in 2027, as flawed as he is and as injury-prone as he is, we know how bad the catching position is. Do you really want to trade Francisco Alvarez, who you still have team control over? And finally, Bo Bichette. I hate to tell you this. The Mets need Bo Bichette. They need him back next year. Because whether it's trading him or having him opt out and letting him go, how are you replacing that bat? This is a lineup that's already not good enough. And now you're going to lose him and replace him with whom exactly? So you're right from a Yankee perspective. If I'm the New York Yankees, would I be interested in trading for Luke Weaver? Sure. If I'm the New York Yankees, would I be interested in trading for Francisco Alvarez? Absolutely, especially looking at the state of my catching position. And I mentioned Bo Bichette before the Mets signed Bo Bichette as a fit for the New York Yankees. And now that he's proven he can actually play a good third base, and I haven't even looked at the defensive metrics, I will just tell you the Evan Roberts eye test tells you Bo Bichette's actually played a pretty good third base when he's played third base. Yeah, the Yankees should have interest in all 3 guys. But if the Mets are trying to compete in 2027, I don't know if you could trade all 3 guys. More of your telephone calls coming up throughout this day, 888-808-1019. And how about a nasty rumor that is now flowing through the internet about Anthony Volpe? We will tell you if it's true or not. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you, at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
First pitch swung on, deep drive.
The Yankees are in Tampa playing the Rays. 6:40 today.
Give it up. Say goodbye.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM, 660 AM, and always available en Espanol with Ricky Ricardo on the Odyssey app.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Thinking about speeding? Think again. Don't let speeding be the reason that you or someone else doesn't make it home. Slow down and drive safely, New Jersey.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This July, join us for the Great American Giveaway and your chance to win your share of $175,000. Earn entries daily all month long. Then be here on July 31st from 3 till 6 p.m. when 2 lucky winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $20,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one grand prize winner will take home $75,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
It's the summer's biggest party, highlighted by Monmouth Park's biggest race. Dress to impress for Haskell Day, Saturday, July 18th. General admission to the Jersey Shore's biggest event is just $15. Arrive early to receive your free Haskell hat. And make plans to come back Saturday, August 15th to meet me, Al Dukes. Continue the Shore's great tradition at the summertime place to be, Haskell Day, July 18th at Monmouth Park Racetrack. For more information, go to monmouthpark.com.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for just $6. It's quick, easy, and it covers your whole morning, all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious, too? Because it is. It's a full breakfast, a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions. Participation at times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer. Cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
New York, this summer bring the red, white, and boom to the barbecue with Smirnoff Ice, featuring a delicious classic for everyone in your crew, like the zesty lemon lime original, ready to team up with a fresh grilled hot dog, or a nostalgic summer favorite, red, white, and berry, perfect to match some sweet, sticky ribs. Whatever your summer flavor craving is, Smirnoff Ice has a crisp, refreshing option ready for you. Head to a store near you, grab a 12-pack, fill the cooler, and celebrate your freedom to flavor. Smirnoff Ice, too crisp to resist. Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York. Please enjoy responsibly.
The savings are here! The savings are here!
Happy birthday, America!
It's America's 250th birthday.
We're celebrating all month long at Nielsen Dodge
by giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
with leases for $250 or under.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lisa new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $250 a month. Yes, just $250 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at nielsendodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 24 months due at sign 6343 at tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Don't miss Conor McGregor's epic return against fellow icon Max Holloway at UFC 329. Saturday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Paramount+.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family
a high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction, a couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Gang Green fans, are the Jets ready to take the next step? Let us know what you think at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Those in Illinois and those in Utah and those in California are not watching their team. They're just watching a finals. It's like the World Series that happened. If our team isn't in it, or even if our team is in it, 98% of the country is not in it. So it's a great rating, and I'm certainly not trying to poo-poo it. I just think it's sometimes tough to compare it to the NFL playoffs or a World Series or an NBA Finals for that reason. I used to make that argument with NASCAR fans. I did a radio show back in the day in Baltimore, and I came on after NASCAR races. And I would talk about it, at least as best I could. And one of the arguments that NASCAR fans would always make with me is, oh, look at the amount of people that are there. And I'm like, but that's every team playing. You know what I mean? Like, a sporting event is only 2 teams. It's 2 of 32 in the NFL. It's 2 of 30 in baseball. In NASCAR, it's everybody. So it's a tough comparison to make.
Hopefully there's just 11 kids out of that 42 million who grow up to want to be good soccer players, and we can actually have a good soccer team at some point.
That's all we need, bro. Just 11.
That's 11 guys.
That's it, and we're in business. Let's address a very interesting rumor that comes from a guy that we all have to admit is pretty reliable.
No biggie, right?
Michael Kay, the voice of the New York Yankees, said yesterday on his radio program that he has heard from multiple sources that the Yankees asked Anthony Volpe in the minor leagues to play some second base. And those sources told him Volpe refused and said, no, I'm a shortstop. There's a lot there. But what's really important is that I should tell you that Michael Kay has followed up his own rumor by denying it. Michael tweeted about a half hour ago, I spoke of a rumor yesterday that Anthony Volpe would not play second base in the minors. It sounded unlike him. So I checked further today, and there's absolutely no truth to it whatsoever. He never refused to work at second base. So there are 2 ways I can take this. First of all, I like Michael Kay, and I respect him. But like I always tell you, when stories come out, you look at the sources, you look at the motivation, and you try to put all the pieces together. There's no doubt that Michael Kay heard that about Anthony Volpe. There's no denying it. Now, just because you hear something doesn't make it true. Like, speaking of another Mike Francesa absolutely heard that the Lindor-Soto relationship is no better than a year ago, and the Mets are trying to trade him. Just because he heard it doesn't mean it's true, but I have no doubt that both Mikes heard what they heard. So when Kay says that, and he has, fair or not, extra, kind of blame on his shoulders sometimes, or extra credit, because he is the voice of the New York Yankees. So when he comes out and says, I heard Anthony Volpe refused to play second base, you say, whoa.
No biggie, right?
You say, oh. And by the way, as someone who's been screaming on this radio station for a year that Anthony Volpe should learn to play second base and become a super utility player, it did boggle my mind that when Volpe was in the minor leagues, he wasn't playing those other positions. It never made sense to me. Now, if Volpe is refusing, that makes a little bit more sense. It also makes it cuttable. Like, if I'm running the New York Yankees and you have proven you are a 670 OPS player whose defense has regressed, and I've given you every opportunity in the world, if you're refusing to play a position I want to play you at, get the hell off my team. But in fairness, Kay has now said it's not true. Now, Connor's a big Yankee fan. And I'm going to predict, knowing how skeptical you are about the world, you probably think the Yankees got to Michael Kay. That what he said yesterday was true, and his denial today is coming from people within the Yankees who are saying, hey, we don't want that out there. Am I right to think that's what you think?
Yes, it's kind of like Jack Curry. When he puts something out there, he never backtracks on it. He's obviously well-sourced within the organization. Michael Kay is the same way. So I find it hard to believe that he heard that from somebody, but then found out later on that that actually was a fake thing, because I don't think he would have put it out there if he didn't feel as though whoever was telling him that knew what they were talking about. And I think it's a really bad look, because with Volpe, the one thing you can say about him is you can feel a little bit bad because he had all these expectations. He seems like a good kid and blah, blah, blah. But then if you add that actually what happened is he refused to go to second base, which seems sort of like to be a better spot for him because his arm strength is just not great enough. They can't turn two with him playing shortstop. So I think it makes him look really, really bad. So he has to then come back and say, actually, that's not true. But it seems like, why would he put it out there? How could he not know that that was the case?
And you know what the biggest problem is? Like, I honestly, if we're all being honest with ourselves and taking our agendas aside, we have no idea. Like, I have no idea what the hell happened in the minor leagues or why Michael said this and now was pulling it back. But the damage is done. Like, sorry, it's too late. Like, once you put something out there and that comment gets a ton of views and a ton of clicks, and now people are texting their buddies, can you believe what Volpe did? The denial or the bring back, no one's going to pay attention to. Now, I'm trying to be fair by presenting both, so if you're listening right now and you weren't fooled by social media where you only saw one of the two things, I'm giving you the full information, and like we always say, you decide. Like, it's up to the people. You can take it however the hell you want. But though I know the way society works, it's too late. Anthony Volpe is now going to be viewed by a lot of Yankee fans who already didn't like him, so they have an agenda of just not liking him as a baseball player. Now they're going to view him as selfish. And it sucks, because I don't know if it happened. I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you that's what he did. All I can tell you is I thought it was weird that he wasn't playing second base or third base, and dare I say the outfield. Like, I wanted to go all the way with it. I think Anthony Volpe should become Ahmed Rosario. That's the comp I'll use. Former prospect. Obviously was big with the Mets, traded for Lindor to Cleveland. And Ahmed Rosario, now as a Yankee fan, you can view him as like a positive. Like, wow, that guy's a valuable player. He's not a superstar. He's not an everyday player, but I want that guy on my team. And that's what Ahmed Rosario was able to pull off. That's what Anthony Volpe needs to pull off. And so when he was in the minor leagues, even though I got pushback from some saying, oh, he can't play third base, he can't do this. Shut up. Let him play everywhere. It's the minor leagues. And let's see what he can become, because that's his avenue to being a major leaguer. So I always thought it was weird he wasn't doing these other positions. I don't know if it was a Volpe thing or if it was an organizational thing, but the fact that this is now out there, even if it's being pulled back from the guy that put it out there, I think is now a scarlet letter on Anthony Volpe. And there's nothing you can do with it.
Puts him in Gleyber Torres territory where Gleyber didn't want to change positions because he felt he was basically too good for it. Like, Anthony Volpe, you were not good enough to deny the chance to switch positions.
You're right.
Not at all.
And I think everybody would agree with that. Like, that is a universal opinion. I think the problem is, even if you don't know what the truth is, the fact it's in your head now. It's like I never understood this when I was on jury duty where you could strike something from the record. They'd say, jury, take that out of your mind. You can't take it out of your mind. What do you mean take it out of your mind? I have a great comparison, but I'm not sure I want to use it because my wife's in the car. But like, I'll do. Maybe Connor can make the comparison, and I'll just kind of give him the runway. Your memories are going to be there forever. As much as you're not going to think about it, and you shouldn't think about it. Like, you can't strike something from your memory. It's always there. You know what I'm saying?
Take that and just completely forget about it forever and never, ever think about it again.
I mean, not that I do, but like, your memory exists forever. So as much as you want to strike something from the record, like if you're on a jury, you got to strike that from the record. Dude, you just told me. How could I strike that from the record? So unfortunately, for Michael Kay, I have bad news for you. You created a firestorm. And as much as you got the water buckets out and you're going to try to hose the fire down, it is now going to be a fact in a lot of people's minds, right or wrong, that Anthony Volpe was selfish and didn't want to play second base.
No biggie, right?
Well, no biggie for you, but for Anthony Volpe, His reputation is now gone.
No biggie, right?
And the truth is, his reputation was already gone because Yankee fans just don't like him anymore. So it didn't matter. Like, you could tell me Anthony Volpe just cured every disease in the world, and Yankee fans will say, yeah, but he's a 222 hitter, and he shouldn't be the shortstop. So what are you talking about? You bitch. Oh, hey, that was harsh. So there you go. Those are the facts. Yesterday, Volpe's selfish, doesn't want to play second base. And today, Michael Kay says, I spoke of a rumor. I checked further today. There's absolutely no truth to it whatsoever. That's up to you to decide. Connor's already decided that he believes Michael Kay from yesterday.
There's no way he could have said that without someone that within the organization that he knows well giving him that info. It's not like he went to like some knockoff NBA Central Twitter account and found that info out, right?
No. I would think he was from reliable people. So what Connor is saying is he believes Tuesday K, not Wednesday K. I'll ask Big Mac when he comes in later. Is he on the side of Tuesday K or Wednesday K? I'm going to try to decide, too. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm just telling you that it's too little too late. Like, you set the fire, and that's it. Like, sorry.
The Yankees are a joke.
Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the telephone number. Let's go back to that Caballero strikeout because that was weird. Ralph in Manhattan has an opinion on it. What's up, Ralph?
Evan, what's happening? You know, I'll tell you something about the second base shortstop thing before I get to Jose. It's a far cry when you're standing on second base than when you were on shortstop. You kind of feel like you're on the wrong side of the field. It happened to me once. And I said, hey, coach, I can't do this, man.
What?
I can't play on this side.
Well, hold on.
I can't play on this side.
Hold on. So
ahead.
you were, let me get this straight. You were a world-class athlete because the best athlete always plays shortstop.
Well, I'm not a world-class athlete, but a damn good baseball player, right?
Fair enough. And you refused to play second base because you felt awkward on the other side of the bag?
I didn't refuse. First of all, on the double play turn, there's a real technique involved. You're behind. Your back is to the bag at first. You got to receive the throw from the left side of the infield. Turn somehow. It's not easy. You can't just kind of just do it without any preparation. That's really all I'm saying.
No, and by the way, that's why I would put him in the minor leagues to do it. Like, I'm not saying go play second base at the major league level. That's why it would have been important for him to learn at the minor league system because you're right. It's not easy to just learn a new position.
Okay, here's the Jose thing, right? These goofballs, part of my putting these people down sometimes, they don't even know what the count is half the time. I've heard so many times when these guys don't even know, they'll think it's 1-2 when it's 2-2. They'll think it's 3-2 when it's 1-2. But here's the thing I think. They're not savvy enough sometimes. You know, they have great ability. They have they're far better athletes than they were, 35 years ago. So what? It doesn't mean anything on the baseball field. Savvy plays a part on the baseball field, Evan. Here's what I think. Either he forgot the count, which is unforgivable anyway, but it happens. It happens. Or he just said, I think this guy's not going to throw the ball over the plate. I'm going to stand here, take the walk. I'm going to guess that this guy is not going to throw a strike here. I'm going to stand here like a statue and take the pitch.
I think that's the likelier answer. The reason I can't buy him forgetting the count, Ralph, is he fouled 2 pitches off in a row. Like, think about that. So he fouled 2 pitches off in a row right before. Like, forgetting the count actually can happen. It's inexcusable, I agree with you, but it can happen. It can't happen when you foul 2 balls off in a row. Now, real quick about this. The archivist of Evan and Tiki and the Rico, Dan, sent me a clip which I completely forgot about. And it shows you that as much as we say, I've never seen that before, we probably have. There was a game 2 years ago where Francisco Lindor did this, where Francisco Lindor was facing the San Francisco Giants, runner on second, 2 out in like the 7th inning. And he took a 3-2 pitch in which he gave up in the exact same way as Jose Caballero. And I'm sure we all freaked out. The difference is Lindor was asked about it after the game. And he gave an answer. And his answer doesn't mean you have to agree with him, but he actually gave a real answer. And his answer was, and let's see if this works for Caballero. Lindor said, I could not see his slider. I had swung and missed 2 pitches earlier. I could not see it coming out of his hand. And I thought on 3-2, he's throwing me another slider that I can't hit. I literally cannot see it out of his hand, and I'm going to bet it's out of the strike zone. And so I made the decision as this pitch is being thrown, it's going to be a slider. I'm guessing completely because I just can't pick it up out of his hand, and I'm going to bank on the fact that it's a ball. And that was his answer. Now, you don't have to love his answer, but at least there was an answer to it. Here we are at 11:45. We got Ralph and others trying to figure out, me too, me and Connor, what the hell happened with Caballero? We have no idea.
Unsolved mystery.
It's an unsolved mystery. He's saying he forgot the count. I'm saying I think it's a manual that he just thought it was going to be a ball the way it was coming out of his hand. It may have been the Lindor answer. It may have been. And the more I thought about the Lindor answer, it kind of makes sense. If you are saying, hey, look, it's not like I'm giving up on baseball. I'm just telling you, for whatever reason, maybe it's the glare, maybe it's the way he's throwing the ball. I don't know what it is. I just can't see it coming out of his hand. On a 3-2 pitch, you are better off not swinging. Our last caller was talking about his baseball career. Let me tell you about my baseball career. You know what I did 9 out of 10 times? I didn't swing. And you want to know why, Connor?
A walk's as good as a hit.
Because I wasn't hitting it. So if I'm not hitting it.
I don't know what happened there.
If I'm not hitting it, I may as well just, you know what? I'll take the pitch. I'll try to walk. Meanwhile, I'm trying to teach my kids the opposite. Like I'm trying to teach them, hey, you got to be aggressive. You got to hit because you don't want to turn into dad. Dad was a terrible hitter. Like I could play defense. I'll brag about that. Like I was Rico Brogna over there at first base defensively. But, man, offensively, I had absolutely no chance. Let's go to Weiss in Bayonne. How you doing today, Weiss?
Hello, Evan. Great show.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
The Yankees have concerns and pressing needs in the bullpen.
Yes.
Due to something before needs in the bullpen to do something before the trade deadline and so on.
Yeah.
What do you think of the reports that are floating in which sellers, such as the San Diego Padres?
Well, they got a lot of arms, man. They got a lot of freaking arms if they sell. I'll tell you that.
1 second.
Yeah.
They trade their hard-throwing Mason Miller to the Yankees for Will Warren, Jason Dominguez, Ryan Weathers, and Spencer Jones.
You know, you're going to think I'm nuts when I say this because you just listed 4 names for Mason Miller. I don't even think that'd be enough. I got to tell you, you're talking about a 27-year-old closer who's having one of the great seasons you'll ever see from a reliever, and he has team control. So I'm not sure. And you did offer a lot, I will admit. I mean, Ryan Weathers back to San Diego, Spencer Jones, who I'm not sure the Yankees even like at this point. Mason Miller is probably the grand prize. And what makes him so valuable if you're the Yankees or any other team is not that he's 27 years old, not that only he's one of the most elite electric relievers in baseball. It's the fact that there's your closer for the next 5 years. Like, you're not just improving yourself now and building your bullpen now, you're protecting yourself for the next few years. So I wonder if San Diego would trade him for a myriad of reasons. Number one, pennant race-wise, we talked about this earlier with Detroit. Where are the San Diego Padres? Right now, they're 4.5 games back of a playoff spot. They're a game under 500. But to me, they're in the muck. Like, if you look at the division winners or leaders, and then you take Philly and Chicago and say, hey, I think they're legitimately good teams. Those two are going to find a way to make the playoffs. You have one extra playoff spot. You got the Marlins. They've been great. I can't knock them. But I think it's fair to be skeptical about them moving forward. You have St. Louis, you have Pittsburgh, you have Washington, and you have San Diego. They're kind of in that muck of the National League. And I think if they trade a reliever, you may be able to bring back Wandy Peralta. I think that's likelier. I just don't think they're going to trade Mason Miller. I don't see it happening. Let's go to Joe in Glen Rock. What's going on, Joe?
Yeah, you just had asked about people that had gone to the Mets game. I went, last night. I had a blast. I know you're talking about like the product on the field isn't the greatest, but also ticket prices have come way down.
Yeah,
we had good seats. I mean, I think I paid more in fees than I did for the ticket. I think the ticket was $5. I paid $6 in fees. We were sitting in like the 132 right down, third base line, right at the foul pole. And we had a blast. And like you said, you got to see a whole lot of stuff that you don't get to see. I've gone to a lot of games, gone to a lot of ballparks. I've never seen the Little League, in the park home run. And then how often do you get to see 20 runs put up on the board,
Very rarely. So you stayed the entire game. Was there ever a thought about leaving early?
No. And you were talking about the rain. They gave away towels. Towels were the giveaway.
No, I know. That was the perfect giveaway. That was like my main impetus for going. I love that towel. I've been having a discussion with my wife recently where she's sick of the bobbleheads. She's like, how many freaking bobbleheads do you have to come home with? Especially when you think about the amount of bobbleheads over the years. Like, what are we doing with the Juan Lagares bobblehead? Like, what are we doing? By the way, he's headless. There was an accident in the Roberts household, and Juan Lagares actually got decapitated, which is a sad story. It's actually kind of a cool story, but I cannot tell it on the air. Travis d'Arnaud bobblehead. Like, what are you doing with him? I even have a Thaddeus Young bobblehead. Oh, wait, I'm crossing the sports up. I do, though. I have a Thaddeus Young bobblehead. So she's big on the, can we get things that are useful and not bobbleheads of guys that you're not going to remember in 10 years. And so the towel was a good giveaway. And it was very helpful on a night where the mist was falling all over the place. Let's go to Jeff in Rockaway. Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you.
You gave me a chuckle before I mention that, I'd like to say that if WFAN ever gives me a show, I will definitely have Ralph Romeo as my as my lead-in, as my warm-up guy. He's very good. The chuckle, Evan, when you said that you want to get into the best shape of your life.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that might consist of maybe a vigorous shampooing in the shower or something like that.
Hold on a second. Would it stun you, Jeff, if I told you that at one point in my life I was in not amazing shape? I never had a six-pack, but I was in good shape. Like I was in athletic shape. Would that stun you?
No, but it's just a visual that popped up in my head.
You had a vision of me in the shower with shampoo. Okay, thank you for that.
I was thinking that might be the best shape you've ever been in if you actually vigorously, massage your scalp.
Well, hold on a second. I got it. Okay, all right.
That's what made me laugh.
Okay. I don't know where you were going with that. Like, what am I vigorously massaging?
Your scalp.
I got you. I got
Okay.
you. Now I figured it out. I was confused for a second. Now I got it all figured out.
I am the number one most knowledgeable baseball man in the country.
Look at you.
Not kidding.
Should I test you? Can I test you?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Of course.
Who won the World Series in 1987?
No. That's not baseball, man. I'm talking about nuts and bolts, managing how to hit, how to run. I was offered a contract in the rookie league, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, many years ago.
All right.
I'm like a Lenny Dykstra type of guy, left-handed, center field, extreme speed, defense.
You know what the problem though with you is? I've already noticed the problem. You don't have enough self-confidence, and I think that's a big issue.
You know what? I'm actually going to help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to bring your kids to Central Park,
Yeah.
I will teach them for free. And I usually charge $150 an hour for the little kids.
Wow.
And they always come back. I'm a great teacher of kids. I know how to, I know exactly what to do. They have fun. There's no pressure. They'll get better. If you want to join in, I'll get you better. You name it. But what I do with the Mets is I do what's called a Mets triage, okay? I do a Mets triage. So what I do is I go by priority of what I think the biggest problems might be for the Mets going forward. And I came up with this, and it's pretty interesting. Like whatever I do is that I think that Francisco Lindor cannot be the starting shortstop next year. His fielding has hit the wall.
Well, first of all, I have to let you go because you dropped a curse word, and so I had to dump you. Basically, for those that missed it, he was describing Francisco Lindor's defense and said that it hit a wall. But instead of simply saying it hit a wall, he needed to use colorful language. So thank you for the call. Thank you for the lessons that you offered me and my kids at playing baseball. And thank you for teaching us a lot about baseball. I will say about Lindor's defense, it is a very small sample size because he just came back off the IL. But his defense has not been good since returning. Now, I am willing, as a patient man, to not fully judge him based on that. Like, I want to give him time. He didn't have a spring training. He was rushed back. Then he had a calf issue. Like, this really is turning into a lost season for Francisco Lindor. It doesn't mean I'm not expecting anything from him. Like, he can't just hit .215 for the rest of the year and continue to play bad defense. But I will acknowledge, just to be fair, that Lindor's defense upon returning has not been good. But that is not enough for me to declare, even though my baseball knowledge pales in comparison to our last caller, to say he can't be the shortstop anymore. I can't go that far. And I'm also not at the level that my coworker Boomer Esiason's at, which is that you have to trade his ass. I'm not there yet. I know he's not having a great year. It's been a lost year. There's more focus on the Lindor-Soto relationship. Lindor is still blamed for the fact, I think sort of irrationally, that David Stearns took a wrecking ball to this team. But I am not ready, despite all of that noise, to say get rid of him. But our last caller used the word triage. Now, I'm a little confused because I also heard Andy Green in his postgame press conference also use the word triage. And I'm like, is that a new baseball word that I forgot about? So what the hell does triage even mean? In fact, I'm going to Google it. I have to figure out how to spell triage. What does triage mean? Oh, I got it. Triage is the process of sorting patients to decide who needs care right away and who can wait until later. It's derived from the French word triage, which means sorting. So I guess he says Lindor sucks so much defensively that they need a triage, which is like they're sorting out the patients. I don't know. I got to find the Andy Green comment because I heard it this morning and I forget the context of it, but it stopped me in my tracks. I was like, what is he talking about? Andy Green says a lot of stuff without saying anything. I'm kind of over him. Not that I want him fired. I mean, he's the interim manager. It is what it is. It's a lost season. But any idea of him winning me over or other Met fans over and taking this job permanently, just can't see it happening. Let's go to Kawichi in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Good afternoon, Kawichi.
Hey, I was just thinking about what you're saying, and I usually don't agree with you, so this is new for me.
Nice.
But,
nice.
About getting Scooble and the genius behind that. I think between that and Judge hitting early home runs, getting the best 3 starters gives them the best chance to win another championship. Really, this formula trying to get people who hit home runs around Judge hasn't worked. So trying something else, I think might actually be the thing that does it.
Well, the trying something else is let me build a murderously awesome rotation. And right now, the Yankee rotation is a lot of theory. The theory of Max Fried coming back, the theory of Carlos Rodon staying healthy, the theory of Cam Schlittler continuing this dominance, which is probably more than a theory at this point. He's that damn good. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, Rodon's hurt again. Garrett Cole is still recovering from Tommy John surgery. Max Fried hasn't walked through that door. And Will Warren and Ryan Weathers, at best, are back of the rotation arms who come playoff time are not making playoff starts. So why wouldn't I take what is already a strength and make it even better? Because I don't think I'm fixing the ills of this offense. I'm just not. The only thing that's really going to fix the ills of this offense is Aaron Judge walking through the door. And there's nothing you can do about that. You got to basically keep your fingers crossed. So my thinking and thought behind trading for Scooble and being more into it today than I even was a week ago when I was into it is this is a flawed team. I've accepted that. You watched last night's game, you saw the flaws all over the place. Why not strengthen something that's could be even better and make it such an advantage and make it something that I'm so much better than everyone else at?
We were forced to make some of those kind of triage decisions along the way in the game.
See, there it is. There it is. So now twice in a few hours, I've heard a caller and Andy Green use the word triage to talk about baseball. And I'm telling you, Connor, I don't think I've ever heard that word used in baseball context until today. And I've heard it twice.
Triage decisions.
I think that caller maybe heard Andy Green say that, and then I got into his lexicon, and now that's a word he's going to use from now on. Triage. Maybe he heard it last night. It was like an Inception thing.
Yeah,
it got planted into his head.
Yeah, that's probably true. So this is all Andy Green fault?
Yes.
So how does that even make sense? Can you play the Andy Green thing one more time?
Triage. We were forced to make some of those kind of triage decisions along the way in the game.
I don't think he used it right. Like, he's sorting out the patients. I guess the Met pitching is, very sick, so maybe he's sorting out which crappy arm I have to use now.
Based on the urgency of their need for attention. Do they need attention or do they need rest? I don't think they need attention. They got enough attention.
Well, there were a lot of guys that needed rest, like Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, Brooks Raley. They all weren't available, so maybe the triage was the guys not available and the guys he was forced to pitch.
The whole season's been a triage.
It really has. It's been one long-term triage. More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. And a very important question that I think needs to be answered. When is it too soon to make fun of a friend of yours? We'll give you the context. Plus, this Yankee downturn Is this something that all good teams face, or has it been uniquely Yankee-like over the last 5 years? We'll examine. But sports fans, the biggest weekend of the year is coming to New York. Fanatics Fest takes over the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th. And right now we'll take the 6th caller at 866-540-WFAN for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Fanatics Fest for one day of your choice. See athletes, cards, memorabilia, and WFAN broadcasting live all weekend from our friends at Fanatics. Visit fanaticsfest.com for full details and to purchase tickets.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
It was a night of aces in baseball yesterday with Jacob Mizorowski striking out 11, Paul Skeens getting his first win in nearly 2 months, and Tarek Skubal dropping 9 Ks in 5 innings. But the real story is Zach Wheeler. Just 10 months removed from thoracic outlet surgery, he's dominating for the Phils. He struck out a career-high 14, moved to 9-1 on the season, and in essence asked the very good question, why the hell isn't this guy going to the All-Star game? I'm Chris Madden.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get any size mattress for one low price starting at $219.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. France has emerged as the top favorite among the 8 teams left in the tournament, but they have a tricky quarterfinal tie to get through with Morocco. France has now gone 260 minutes without conceding a goal. Morocco hopes to ride the momentum of a dominant second half against Canada. I'm Mike Conti.
Bring the flavor to the World Soccer Championship with Crush Orange Soda. Crush is the perfect pick for every match, highlight, and game-winning goal. Make every match even sweeter with Crush Orange Soda.
Most tire dealers will sell Bridgestone tires, but Town Fair Tire sells Bridgestone tires for an unbeatable combination of the guaranteed lowest price and the most free services for life. Town Fair is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. So when you're in the market for a new set of Bridgestone tires, get to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Sunshine, high 83.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
The summer is here and it is hot.
If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, you got to think again. Sloman's is here to change the game with their super savings sale. They're offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R454B systems, expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right, you get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive 5-year service plan that includes annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Servicing all of Long Island and Queens, you can call the team at Sloman's today, 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But you got to hurry, these cool savings aren't going to last. So don't miss out. Call 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. That's ac.slomans.com. Terms and conditions do apply.
When you own your own business, you own every decision.
Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with the toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge. Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Orgavatazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino & Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
Start the day with Boomer and Geo, mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
How we doing on this fine Wednesday in New York City? Evan without Tiki, without Morash. Tiki will be back tomorrow. Sean, God knows. I mean, there's a chance he never comes back. I'm just kidding. Sean will be back on Monday, and then I'll tag out. That's how this works.
He'll be a famous actor with Will Ferrell before you know it. He won't come back ever.
That's true, yeah. Sean's in California doing something with a Will Ferrell movie. That's all I know. I've tried to keep my distance because one thing I've learned, and I'm not good at this, so I'm trying to be better at it, is to leave people alone when they're on vacation. Like, I'm trying to just lay low. I'm not bothering Sean about the Yankees or the Giants or anything like that, or even how he's doing. I let him just do his thing. That's my 2026 New Year's resolution. But I do have a question for you, Connor, and I've been thinking about this all last night. So last night, the New York Mets had a young man. He's actually not that young. I think he's 31. But a man by the name of Matt Seelinger make his major league debut. Matt is from Westbury. He's a New York guy. He's a Long Island kid. And he talked glowingly about coming to games and how excited he is and how he knew about New York traffic when coming to the game. And it was a really feel-good story. Like, here's this local kid bringing all his friends to the game, and he's going to make his major league debut. Even told a story about how when he was with the Phillies organization, his friends would bust his balls and be like, yeah, we'll root for you, but we'll never root for the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Mets acquired him the other day. He gets added to the roster yesterday. Mets in desperate need of any kind of pitching help with a lot of guys unavailable due to what happened on Sunday and Monday. And so you kind of knew the game would find Matt Seelinger. Unfortunately, it found him in the 7th inning of a 9-9 game. And in his major league debut, I'm just going to describe it. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. He sucked. He was awful. And I get it. It's a very tough spot. You're making your major league debut. It's a tie game. And right away, he can't throw a strike to Lane Thomas, right? Could not throw him a strike. And then he throws a cookie to Salvador Perez 0-2, and Salvador bangs a double off the wall. And then he's given up a 3-run home run to Nick Lofton. And then he's walking 3 more guys, including somebody with the bases loaded. Like, it is what it is. The kid was not ready for the moment. And part of me feels bad, sure. Like, he's a human. I have nothing against him. But I'm also sitting in the rain watching a baseball team where we paid a lot of money for tickets, at least season ticket holders did, because if you bought the tickets at the last second, they cost you a dime. And so you have a right to be upset with him, but you also, understand, yeah, this sucks. Kid was all excited. He's making his major league debut. He's doing it at home. He's doing it with a ton of friends in attendance. So we get it. We get the two sides to the coin. He was bad, and he sucked. But what I need to know, Connor, is I know friends, and I'm from Long Island. We bust each other's balls. At what point can his group chat start to just mock the crap out of him that in his major league debut at Citi Field, he put together one of the worst performances of all time? Is that something you never mock? Is that something that you have to wait 5 years for? Or is that something where today there's a jackass in his text chain saying, hey, Seelinger, couldn't have done better than that, you putz?
I think it depends on whether or not, if he ends up rebounding and his next couple of outings he starts pitching well and the season goes pretty well for him, then I think they can make fun of him. If for some reason it just doesn't work out, he gets like sent down or DFA'd or something like that, I don't think you can ever make fun of that.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
one of those where it's got probably his dream to pitch for the team. You go out there, and not only is it bad, it's awful. It's like if you're working yourself up with your friends to go like ask a girl out to prom in high school, and you go and she just laughs in your face, and it's like super embarrassing. It's one where like maybe you just don't make fun of that one.
Yeah, and you know what? You bring up a really interesting point. I feel bad saying this, but I'm going to call it like it is. As a 31-year-old who made his major league debut and was literally called up because the Mets were desperate for arms, there's a really good chance he gets DFA'd today. There's a chance. There's a chance he's gone. And even if he's not DFA'd, there's a chance he gets DFA'd tomorrow or sent down. And there's a chance he never pitches in the major leagues again. Like, you are right. It is on the table that this kid ends his major league career with an ERA that I can't even calculate, 7 runs in 2 innings. I'd have to try to do the math. I think it's an ERA of about 31. If I'm not mistaken.
31.50.
Nice. Hey, my math is pretty good,
Not
man.
bad. That's pretty good.
Not bad. So I guess you're right. If he never pitches again, maybe it's a sensitive subject that you could never mention. And by the way, I'm not making fun of him. Like, genuinely, I tell you that as I sat there, I didn't want to boo him. I'm not a booer anyway. I felt bad. I felt bad for us. I feel bad for Met fans. But it's not his fault. Now, one thing I will defend the Mets on, because I heard a few people say the Mets put him in a horrible spot. What do you want them to do? The guy got called up because they need arms. Like, I disagreed with Andy Green using him there. I would have gone to A.J. Minter and tried to keep the game close. But how are you managing the 8th or 9th inning? At some point, this poor kid was going to have to come into this game, and it was probably going to be close. And there was a chance this was going to happen. So as much as we all love to LOL the Mets, and it's all their fault, the truth is, like, they didn't really do anything wrong. The kid came in. That's just why he's here to eventually pitch. and it was an unmitigated disaster.
Oh, no, the Mets.
That was just the triage decision they had to make.
It was. All right, so we're on the fence about when you could make fun of Sealanger if you're his buddy. Like, basically, you got to lay low until he pitches again. If he pitches again, this could be something you have fun with. But he's not getting text message today from his buddies who are like, you suck.
I can't imagine. I mean, unless they have a really great relationship and they bust their chops all the time. I mean, that's probably like the worst moment of his life last night.
And I do feel bad. I think you're probably right. I think this is one of those you lay low, and then eventually you could have fun with it. And for his sake, I hope he gets another opportunity because, it was bad. And it wasn't the best situation, but unfortunately, when you make the major leagues and you're finally there, because a lot of guys don't make the major leagues, you can't always write the perfect situation. Sometimes it's just going to be a 9-9 game in the 7th inning with rain falling down, and it's just going to be a bad scene. 888-808-1019, the number. Let's get back to your calls. Ryan is in Riverhead. What's up, Ryan?
All right, I got the Screwball Rhyme time for you.
Go ahead.
Don't be a screwball, trade for Screwball.
I think you got it, man. I think that's the one we go with. If you are on my side and believe that the New York Yankees should be uber aggressive in trading for Tarek Skubal, not because they quote-unquote need help for the rotation, but because it will give their rotation such an edge over everybody else, I think you go with the Screwball. So I think you nailed it. Thank you very much for the call. Let's go to Steve in White House Station. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Evan, how you doing?
Good.
All right. Listen, you talked a lot about acquiring Skubal, one of the greatest pitchers in the game, and that's easy to say. But as you would say, it depends on what you give up. So if the Tigers said, "Hey, we'll take Lombard and Spencer Jones and LeGrand and Elmer Rodriguez Cruz," would you still do that? I would hope not for a rental, even though he's great. Can you talk a little bit about what's too much for you?
Well, that's too much. And because what you just named were 3 of the 4 top Yankee prospects and 4 of the 6 top Yankee prospects. And I don't think that's the return Detroit is getting. Like, I think they'll get a good return. Don't get me wrong. And I think you're going to have to give up a top prospect, whether it's Dax Kilby or it's George Lombard Jr. or it's Carlos LeGrand. I don't think it's going to have to be all of them. So, but it is a good question. Like, okay, what's my red line? I mentioned this earlier, and I don't know if I'm on an island or this or if other people agree with me, and I think I'd feel the same way if the Mets were actually good, but they're not. They're irrelevant until they trade guys off. Because of the looming lockout, when you take the looming lockout and you combine it with the mediocrity of the American League, I think I'd be more aggressive than normal. Because I show reason. I show a little bit of, hey, I can't do it all. I remember 2 years ago, me and Morash got into an argument, a big fight, over how far he would go to trade for Tanner Scott. And I was like, dude, he's a reliever who's a free agent at the end of the year. How far can you truly go? And I wasn't willing to go as far as Sean was going. I am more in the Sean class now when it comes to how aggressive I'd be because of the fact that the league feels so crappy. And I feel like, wow, I add Skubal to this rotation. I'm the team to beat by a lot, despite all the other flaws that I have. And then the whole, I don't even know if 2027 thing is going to happen. So would I give up Lombard, who is the number 1 prospect in the Yankees system, as a centerpiece of a trade? I kind of lean towards yes. But your offer was too much because you named 4 of the top 6 prospects. I'm not doing all of it. Would I give 1 centerpiece prospect and a few middling prospects up to rent Tarek Skubal? I think I would, yes. Anthony in Bridgewater, New Jersey. What's up, Anthony? Uh-oh. You know what I'll do, Anthony? I'm going to put you on hold because I know it's difficult to get through sometimes. So I'm going to put you on hold. I'll go back to you in like a call or two, and we'll see if your line is better. Okay? I don't want to just dump you. So I'm going to put you on hold, and we'll retry in a minute or so. Let's go to Richie in Queens. What's going on, Richie?
You can't pick on that kid. He's not a kid. He's 31. 9 years it took him to get to this game. And you're right, Ev. It's one of the worst performances I've ever seen. And I feel absolutely horrific. When he was throwing 93, I said, boy, I hope he's got a little bit more than that. I know I get into the volume sometimes and velocity. I didn't have a good feeling, but that was atrocious. So who knows? I think Connor's right. I think he gets DFA'd I think you may never see him again. He's that kind of a player. So that was more of like, we need somebody. A couple of things real quick, Ev, if you let me. I talk quick.
Yes. And by the way, Richie, by the way, at the end of the phone call, I actually have a trivia question for you that I want to throw at you. So hang on, because I can't wait to ask it to you. But go ahead, make your points.
Yeah, a couple of things. When you talked about what Kay said, it locks in your mind. You know, I studied law a little bit, not that I'm a lawyer, but those things are very true. Like a defense attorney will say something, you're out of order, strike that from the record. They said 8% of the cases can be swayed about a comment that has nothing to do and it's irrelevant. But the fact is, it was said, and it stays in the jury's minds. So that was a very good point. Volpe will never, ever be a Rosario. He might go to a different position. I love Rosario. I think Rosario is like guys that were on my team years ago. He's such an asset. He can do anything, and he's turned out to be a very, very good player. No matter where you put him, Volpe won't be that. And Ev, I'm really pissed with the Mets. I'll tell you why. You know, I root for the Giants, as you know. But my second team is the Mets. So my wife hasn't been to a game. She's a Met fan in 3 years. I get these tickets at $148 for tomorrow. And my point was, babe, don't worry about it. They will be there. They'll be in some kind of race, whether it's the wild card or the division. So now I got to take up with the abuse that we're going to the game. But she loves the stadium. She'll love the hot dogs. And I can't tell you, we got bangs and she loves the young players with Ewing. So, yeah, and I just find it incredible that in July they're pretty much out of it. And the Skubal thing, I don't think the Tigers will trade him. They're 5 back in the wild card. I don't see it. But go ahead, what's your question?
Right, so here's my question. So last night the Mets lost the game for only the second time in their history when they scored 12 runs or more. Can you name, or dare I say, remember the other game the Mets lost when scoring 12 runs or more?
I think it was the Giants.
You are correct.
Was it?
It was the San Francisco Giants. Do you remember this game? Because this one was crazy.
Was it at Shea?
Say that one more time.
Was it at Shea?
It was in San Francisco 4 years ago. The Jock Peterson game. Do you remember this one?
Oh, yeah, I do remember it, yeah.
That game was unbelievable. This was a West Coast game on a Tuesday night in 2022. It actually was Edwin Diaz's final blown save of the year in that amazing 2022 season. The Mets were down 10-4 in the 8th inning. They scored 7 runs in the 8th inning to go up 11-10. Then they gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Then they scored a run in the 9th inning to go back up 12-11, and then they lost the game 13-12. And that is the only other game that the Mets actually lost when scoring 12 or more runs. So it happened recently, and it happened in a good season, believe it or not. Well, I don't know. Did we call 2022 a good season? They won 100 games, so that was good. But then obviously they got bowed out very quickly in that wild card round. Let's go to Nick in Stroudsburg. What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm going to just cut to the chase. I have a quick question.
Yes.
And I'm tired of the antics from the Yankees. I live in Stroudsburg. I live pretty close to the Rail Riders. I go to a bunch of their games. I watch Volpe, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if you're into conspiracies with, like, the moon landing, JFK, but the one question I have for you is, what on earth does Anthony Volpe have on the New York Yankees? Because this is starting to get ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't think it's something he has. If I had to guess, and we tried to examine this the other day with Tiki when Boone wouldn't commit to Jose Caballero as the everyday shortstop. And what's funny is Jose Caballero is far from a perfect player. We know that. He's just clearly a better option than Anthony Volpe. I think this is what we call prospect syndrome. I think sometimes when a guy is highly regarded, you can't quit him. And I think you see it throughout baseball. You see it with certain teams. You see it in this town. I think the Mets are doing it with Brett Beatty. They can't quit him. They still think there's something there.
It's a sickness.
Here it is. That's what he was talking about.
It's a sickness.
He's right. It's like a sickness of continuing to believe what made you fall in love with the prospect to begin with. And no matter how much you're shown that it's just not going to happen, you just in your mind still believe he's that guy. And I think that's the answer. So I don't think it's anything wild or anything crazy. I think it's as simple as that. We've got a Cinco de Luncho coming up in a few minutes. We'll get back to more of your phone calls at 888-808-1019. And the Yankees always have these annual struggles. Is it normal for a good baseball team to have this every year, or is it uniquely Yankee? We do an investigation coming up. It is Evan and Tiki, without Tiki and without Sean Morash.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
The World Cup is here, and NJIT, the #1 public university in New Jersey for alumni success, is putting you in the action. Track how loud your city is with the Fan Sentiment Hub built by NJIT's Martin Tuckman School of Management. Visit njit-worldcup.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started today. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We all love the app around here. It is safe and secure, has all the betting markets you could possibly want, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and older, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's quick, easy, and covers your whole morning, all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious? It's a full breakfast. It's a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small. We've helped mark the moments that matter the most to our customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As we celebrate a century of excellence, we thank you for being part of our story, and we look forward to the moments still to come. We invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
Fresh paint inside, fresh flowers outside. Summer at your house is looking good. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, buy one, get one free. Select interior paint via mail-in rebate. Plus, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details and requirements. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold. Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hi, this is John Starks, and I'm Tyler Kolek. At John Starks Kia, we don't play games. No gimmicks, no tricks, no hidden fees, no surprises. Lease a Kia Sportage for just $333 a month with just $3 due at signing. What we say is what it is, period. See you at John Starks Kia in Queens. Go New York, go New York, go.
36-month lease excludes tax, title, and MV fees. No security deposit required. 10,000 miles per year. Expires July 31st.
Enjoy the excitement of the World Soccer Championship with Schweppes Ginger Ale. Crisp, refreshing, and full of classic flavor. Schweppes is the perfect companion for every match and game-winning goal. Pick up the iconic taste of Schweppes Ginger Ale at your local ShopRite to make every match a win.
Don't miss Conor McGregor's epic return against fellow icon Max Holloway at UFC 329. Saturday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Paramount+.
The night belongs to the fans. Join Tommy Lugauer for After Hours, weekdays at 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount+. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC.
Real. It came from a satirical account, which is a pain in the ass on social media. I mean, it really is, because you see things and you're like, oh, that person has a lot of followers. It must be true. But when I read that quote yesterday, that's how into the soccer I am, I was very quickly told, I forget how, I don't know if it was what it was, but it was a satirical account that put that quote out there. But here's what's crazy, Connor. Here's where I'll defend you. It could be real. And the way soccer coaches talk sometimes, it very well could be real. So it's possible, but my understanding is fake quote from that head coach or manager, whatever the hell they're called.
It looks like here, New York Times, Egypt rages about refereeing, says the World Cup is directed towards Argentina.
Oh, so maybe it was
Maybe
real.
it is real. I'll have to do a little more research.
All right. You know what? You don't have to. I don't think any of us care enough. But speaking of research, some great...
Hassan did say, and this is The Athletic, we'll never watch the World Cup again because there's no justice in this competition.
You know what? Close enough. Even if he never used the term rigged, he basically said what you said, so I give you the victory.
He's never going to watch the World Cup again, but he's a coach of Egypt. I mean, if he's the coach again 4 years from now, is he not going to watch the game?
I guess that's true. Maybe they won't qualify, or maybe he won't coach, or maybe he'll close his eyes. Speaking of research, we will tell you some very fascinating research on if the Yankees slides that they normally go on is a common occurrence for good teams in Major League Baseball. We'll get to that in a few minutes, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. But I biked today, so I'm even extra hungry. So, Connor, feed us.
Sean Moraes in the booth, somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling, no! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
And Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything everywhere. So while watching the Yankees strike out 17 times again last night, I didn't want to think too much about baseball, so I decided to look my focus a little bit towards the football season, so a little bit off the beaten path. Here are I don't know how to name this, but the top 5 unique fan elements / peccadillos that each team has in the NFL. Top 5, like for example, my least favorites here are the Broncos incomplete chant and the Fly Eagles Fly song.
Oh, gotcha.
So stuff like that.
All right, fair enough. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Here we go! Number 5.
The Go Pack Go chant. Sunday Night Football, Lambeau Field. Packers up 35-10 against the Bears. Rodgers had 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. And you hear this.
Go Pack, go!
One of the cheesiest things ever. And imagine but it's so great and it's so silly when you hear that. Imagine being a player on the Bears and you've lost like 100 straight games to the Packers and you got to hear that stupid Go Pack Go chant. So there is number 5. Here is number 4.
Number 4.
You're not going to like this one, Evan, but the Buffalo Bills shout song. Orchard Park, Josh Allen just ran over 2 linebackers, stiff-armed Aaron Donald, dives over 3 guys into the end zone, throws a pass, gets a lateral, dives into the end zone, and you hear this.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout.
Another thing that's so cheesy, and it's like, I'm sure the fans know it's cheesy, but they love it. I have a friend who's like a diehard Bills fan, so I'll go watch the games with him a little bit, and they just go crazy for that song. They love it.
Ugh.
Cannot get enough. I know you wouldn't be happy about that one. Here we go.
Number 3.
The Terrible Towel. December, January game at Heinz Field or Acrisure Stadium, whatever it's called now. Steelers, Ravens, 28 degrees outside to get a little fire going. Maybe make a little hot cocoa, put the game on. Field looks frozen, and they do that low-angle shot of the crowd. Everyone's waving the Terrible Towel before kickoff, created by Myron Cope.
My name is Myron Cope. 32 years ago, I took a gold towel and created a formula. The Terrible Towel is poised to strike.
And he created it as like a thing he wanted to prove. I think someone challenged him for his marketing ability. So he wanted to see how many people would show up with dish towels to the game, basically. And it turned into a huge thing.
And teams try to imitate it. Like you see it at all playoff games now. NBA, baseball, like they'll hand out towels to try to recreate it. But that atmosphere is the best.
Nothing quite like that. Here we go.
Number 2.
Jerry Jones. Now, I'm not sure how I can compare Jerry Jones to the Terrible Towel. But even though he gets a lot of hate, I'm a big fan of Jerry Jones. And the reason why he's on this list is because he is the human personification of the Dallas Cowboys. And you always know when there's a Cowboys game on TV, they're going to always show Jerry Jones. And whether you love him or hate him, the one thing you know is that he loves the Cowboys and is living and dying with every single snap. And if I told ChatGPT to take the Cowboys and turn it into a human being, it's Jerry Jones. He's like the human personification of the Cowboys.
When you're general manager, of which I am, we know Dak Prescott can play.
And here we go.
Number 1.
The JETS, Jets chant. They haven't made the playoffs since the mid-'70s, since forever. They haven't reached Super Bowl since before the creation of color television. The last time the Jets made the Super Bowl, I don't think the microwave was invented yet. I'm not 100% sure on that. And the last time they made the playoffs, I don't think the moon landing had been faked yet. But we always will have this. And hopefully one day they can do that chant. We could all do that chant with a team that's actually in the AFC Championship game playing a home game.
Can you imagine that?
It'd be so great.
That's the beauty of the JETS, Jets chant. First of all, it's so simple. Like my youngest son who's gotten into the Jets, he loves it. And the other day, he just started running around the kitchen. JETS. And you are so right. If by some miracle, by some chance, the Jets are hosting, forget a championship game. How about a playoff game? It doesn't matter what round. It doesn't matter when. A playoff game at MetLife Stadium, and the crowd is chanting that, it's going to be magical.
Because they only get a handful of big games. Like, I mean, the last 15 years, it's been a handful of big games. The Rodgers' first game. But whenever it's a big game or feels like it, that chant is awesome.
No, it's amazing. I am curious, because that was a very good Cinco de Luncho. Did you purposely try to make Morash look bad? Because I always mock him. He doesn't come with audio. It's like, how hard did you prepare this? You came out with clips for everything, and I almost think you knew, boy, this is going to be like the extra salt to remind everyone in the audience that I'm better than Sean. Is that fair to say?
I don't think that was the intended idea, but if that is the case, I mean, it's not too bad for me, I guess.
So be it.
He is right now hanging out with Will Ferrell, so I think he's doing pretty well.
He doesn't care.
I'm a fat moron.
But that was an excellent Cinco de Luncho. Great job by you, Connor. I mentioned this last year. This is an annual tradition around here. There is a Twitter account that I love, and I'm going to warn you, the name is somewhat inappropriate, but I need to be accurate to give them their proper due. But I love following Yankee Slut on Twitter. I'm sorry.
That's one of your favorite accounts.
Well, I'm being serious.
Is it PG?
Yes. So Yankee Slut did research a year ago and put it out again today. And if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to go back into the archives of Evan and Tiki. I think I brought this up a year ago because I was so enamored by the awesome research that Yankee Slut did. Now, I'm big on research. Like, I'll come to you and say, hey, I'm such a geek. I did this for 8 hours. Here are the facts I came up with about the Jet quarterback situation or the Mets against right-handed pitching or what have you. I will be the first to admit this is not my research. This is the research of Yankee Slut. And you think, oh, he just wanted to say that word. No. Hear me out. Are the Yankees' annual summer downturn a normal part of the game, or is it unique to them? All right, this is from @Yankee. I'll just call it SL because I don't know how many times I should say slut, but whatever. So, Yankee Slut, I'm sorry. What should I call them?
Are you saying that there's a party in your pants and that I'm invited?
That's it.
Yes. Anyhow, this was in reference a year ago to Aaron Judge saying that the Yankee 6-13 spell they were going through last year is something that's normal. Quote, we're going to go through 2 of these a year. Every good team does. Judge said that last year. Obviously, they're going through a period of time like that again. So Yankee SL looked it up and did a very quick check using the Dodgers to say, hey, they're a really good team. How often do they go through 6-13 stretches or worse? It turned out, according to their research, the LA Dodgers in the last 4 seasons didn't have any 6-13 stretches. So now Yankee SL said, wait a second. Is this even true? Do we just repeat it like fact? Like, oh, all good teams go through slumps, and it's not necessarily true? So they defined a good team as any team that finished the season winning 90 games, which I think is a very fair way to look at a good team. They went back 5 seasons between 2020 and 2024 and took the Yankees' worst stretch within each season and checked to see if any other 90-win team had a stretch as bad or as the same as that Yankee team. Here's what they found. In 2021, the Yankees had a stretch in which they went 10-22. The number of 90-win teams that had an equivalent or worse stretch, 0. In 2022, the Yankees had a 10-17 stretch. The number of 90-win teams with an equivalent or worse stretch, the answer was 3. In 2023, they had a 12-21 stretch. The number of 90-win teams that had an equivalent or worse stretch is 2. And in 2024, the year the Yankees got to the World Series, they had a stretch of 12-24. The number of 90-win teams with an equivalent or worse stretch, the answer is 0. So according to Yankee Slut's research, during that 5-year period of time, only 5 of the 41 teams that won 90 games had a equal or worse stretch than the New York Yankees. What it tells you, what it shows you, is that it really isn't as normal as we think it is. And I've claimed it's normal. I've repeated that same talking point before. Like, hey, it's a long baseball season. Like, all teams are going to go through funks. It's the old phrase, like, you're never as bad as you are when things aren't going bad. You're never as good as you are when things are going well. But with this research, and great job by Yankee SLUT, what it shows you is that this is actually Yankee-like, and it's not a normal thing. The Dodgers aren't doing this often.
It's a sickness.
The Phillies aren't doing this often. And so what do you make of it? What are the returns? I think the returns are there's something here to this. And you try to figure out why. It's like, okay, we've now identified, thanks to some really good research, that this is not a normal thing. We've accepted that, right? We could all just say, all right, Yankees are unique in terms of the funks that they go through. Happens to be in June. That's why people nicknamed it swoon. It's now occurring in July. Why? And I wrap my head around it trying to figure out the why. And the only thing I can come up with, this is my theory, is that it relates to Aaron Judge. That the New York Yankees are as reliant on a player in baseball, more reliant on one individual player than maybe I've ever seen. I remember saying this in 2022, I guess was the year, that Aaron Judge is not just the MVP, he's the most valuable player I've ever seen. I've never seen a baseball team be overly reliant on one guy. And the facts have backed that up in terms of how the Yankees do without him. This year, since Aaron Judge went down, they're 14-18. They got off to a really good start without Aaron Judge. They have obviously played far worse, and now the overall record through a sample size of 32 games is 14-18. It's not good. Last year, it was 5-6. 3 years ago, when he missed a bunch of time, it was 25-33. Like, you just do the math. Like, they're not good without him. And so the only thing I could come up with is that because they're so reliant on Judge, when he's out, they struggle, which is obvious. And when he's not going well at times, they struggle. Because I don't have another good reason for it. I know some of the Aaron Boone haters would somehow create some kind of narrative that it's about Aaron Boone, that Aaron Boone does something that makes this team underachieve, makes this team go through this all year long.
You guys are dumb.
But I don't know what it would be. Like, you can say it because you don't like Aaron Boone, but, like, what would it be that Aaron Boone does that leads to the Yankees having more bad stretches than other good teams?
We're leaning into kicking ass.
I don't know what it would be. So my conclusion is that it has to do with Aaron Judge. And you know what else it tells me? I'm sorry. I'm being real. I'm diagnosing the issue. It proves that the Yankees really did need to re-sign Juan Soto. In that they went far, they tried, they didn't go far enough. And I know at the time when they ended up losing him, the plan B was highly loved. Oh, they got Cody Bellinger, they got Max Fried, they got this and that. And they did do a pretty good job on the pivot. But when you are so overly reliant on one superstar player, maybe you needed another superstar player. I don't know. And look, there's nothing you could do about that. It's just I'm drawing the conclusions and I'm giving, I guess, editorials now on what caused this. But there's no denying that the Yankee funks are not normal. It's not, oh, yeah, all good teams go through it. It's not. And I don't know what Aaron Boone would say about it. Like, first of all, Aaron Boone would deny, I think, the facts that were laid out. I think he would just say, well, that's not true. It's baseball. All teams struggle, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it's not true, at least over that 5-year sample size. So the only thing I could come up with is that they are just so reliant on Aaron Judge, which leads back to what I opened the show with many hours ago, if you want to rewind on the Odyssey app. Because they're so reliant on Judge, and because he's not walking through that door anytime soon, and because there is no simple trade that would just turn the Yankee offense into some kind of juggernaut without Aaron Judge, I lean more into saying, just go get Skubal and build the greatest rotation I can. That's my answer. My answer is screw it. Let me build one of the greatest rotations I could ever assemble. Go get Tarek Skubal and say, go beat that rotation. Go beat Skubal, Fried, Cole, and Schlittler in a playoff series. Good luck with that. That would be my answer. Because as much as we're getting on the strikeouts of the last 2 days of the New York Yankees, they scored 9 runs in 2 games. If you get the kind of pitching that you could get from the rotation I just described, trust me, 4.5 runs a game would be more than enough. Strikeouts be damned. 888-808-1019 is the number. Dave is in Rockville Center. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, Evan, how you doing? Long time no speak.
Good, man. What's on your mind?
You know, I've been thinking about this for a number of decades, And I think you're the perfect person to help me dispatch, if you think about it a little bit, the cliche that makes me want to rip my hair out, which is good pitching beats good hitting. I think that is totally backwards, okay? And if you want to co-author the new postulate with me, go ahead. And I'd like you to think about it. So the Braves from the 1990s proved that theory is wrong. Their rotation was ridiculous, okay? Timely hitting beats good pitching in the playoffs. In the playoffs, the David Petersons, the bottom of the rotation guys who have ability but who are just not consistent, they elevate when they see teams like the Yankees who are prone to strikeouts and can't make contact. The Yankees, and I'm a Yankee fan,
right?
The Yankees in the last quarter century, okay? 2009 wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for one man, Alex Rodriguez. But they are proof because they have had the best pitching. Look at our dear Mariano Rivera. He got beat in 2001, 2003, and 2004, okay? Good pitchers can get beat by timely hitting.
Yes.
And, and I'm not as big a nerd as you are, but I did.
What?
I do have something that I took out of the archive.
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
There is a stat that is missing from a pitcher's stat sheet, and that's called opposing pitcher's ERA.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
2018, Jacob deGrom. In his no decision, the opposing pitcher's ERA, this is for the whole season.
Yeah.
The opposing pitcher's ERA was 2.05.
Wow.
In his losses,
Yeah.
okay, the opposing pitcher's ERA was 1.285.
I'm not surprised. But by the way, all that does is show you why wins don't matter. But let me address the first thing you said, which is the old adage that good pitching will always stop good hitting. It's a fallacy. You're right. It's an absolute fallacy. Clayton Kershaw's a great pitcher. How did he do against great hitting in the postseason when he faced great hitting more often than not because it's great teams? How'd he do? But the truth is, it's not a one-way street. That's the thing about baseball. We always try to find the answer. There is no one answer. Sometimes great pitching does stop great hitting. Pedro Martinez in 1999 could have stopped Murderer's Row. That sumbitch is facing Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. He would have struck both of them out and said, I'll strike you out again. And then there's some great pitching where, no, great hitters beat you. So it's an adage that's overused. I think it's greatly overused, but I don't think it means the opposite is true. Just because I think it's overused and it's not entirely true, it doesn't mean, well, great offenses beat great pitching. There's a lot of ways to win a world championship. There's a lot of ways teams have won world championships, which is why my idea towards the top was, instead of trying to fix every little hole we have, just create the best rotation in the world and go win that way. Because you can. You can win a World Series that way. You can win a World Series in which you strike out 1,000,000 times and you play crappy defense and you make bad base running decisions and your best hitter's out and you win anyway because your pitching gives up nothing. So there's 1,000,000 different ways you can win. Should I take a break? Oh, Big Mac's right there. Big Mac, got a question for you. Do you think Anthony Volpe is a selfish pig? Oh, he's coming in for this. Uh-oh. Does that mean I got to go 5 minutes here? Here's Big Mac. He's hosting the Carton Show by himself. By the way, we were talking about that in the newsroom. Do you prefer hosting by yourself? Is that why you didn't pick a co-host this week?
No, it's not that I prefer it. It's just the way it worked out. I was going to have Emmanuel, but he was filling in for Susan, and I didn't check in on that until late in the week, so I assumed I could fall back on that.
So you're being lazy? Is that what you're saying?
And plus I like doing it by myself, yes.
By the way, that's a fine answer. I was more curious because I was saying...
And I don't have a built... you have the built-in Sean with someone who's out. Like, it's very rare because you have the circle of, 3 guys where you can rotate. We don't really necessarily have that. Gallo's great. He hosts, but Gallo's busy during the show doing the social media.
Sounds like you're crapping on Gallo and Hoffman. They're both more than capable of hosting shows. They host shows.
Correct. Yes.
They've hosted more shows than Sean Morash. So your answer is...
That's not true.
Oh, it absolutely is true.
What are you talking about?
Well, who's hosted more solo shows here? Pete Hoffman or Sean Morash?
More solo shows?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not asking them to do a solo show.
Well, they're asking to work with you. And
but that's not a solo show.
Doesn't matter. They have hosting experience.
Yeah, not more than Sean.
I mean, what's Sean do? He sits
That's a
over
fair
there with
point.
Connor and adds 10 words.
It's a fair point. His name's on the show. He's got as much billing as I do.
Screw John. You know what? That's a fair point. I was only asking because during one of the commercial breaks, I was saying, I used to do solo shows a lot on Saturdays. You do it now. And I'm like, I don't mind them, but I prefer having someone else.
I prefer having someone.
And the only reason I don't have someone else is there just wasn't time. Like, things kind of happened at the last second. So we were talking about Big Mac. We're like, why does Big Mac not pick a co-host? And so someone here, I won't say their name, Andrew Kaplan, said, I think Big Mac's just very selfish and doesn't want to share the microphone for 5 hours. And I said, that's fair.
It's possible.
Because he said, what about Loogie? I said, I don't think Big Mac likes Loogie.
I do think the idea that
I don't think he'd want to do a show with him.
I do think that it was the idea that I knew the shows, and whether you think it's because I made them this way or not, I knew the shows are going to be Yankee heavy. Considering the idea that it was this 4-game series against Tampa, I thought the shows would be Yankee heavy and that I could carry the Yankee heavy.
You could carry anything.
Of course I could, but I'm just saying, like it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course I could. You could carry any show.
Well,
you could carry a show if it was just about the Jets
I'm
all
not
day.
saying. No, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, give yourself more credit,
That's
bro.
not what I'm saying. Putting words in my mouth. Did you have a question about Anthony Volpe?
Yeah. So I
weirdo.
mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
Michael Kay made a comment yesterday that Anthony Volpe, from what he heard, refused to play second base in the minor leagues.
Yes.
He comes out today on social media and says, everything I heard, that's not true. He tried to kind of back it. So I asked Connor, like, what do you believe? And Connor was like, I kind of believe what he said yesterday was true.
Yeah.
And Michael got word from the Yankees, don't put it out there. And my point was, it doesn't even matter what the truth is.
Right.
It's too late. Anthony Volpe is now, along with being an underachiever, considered to be a selfish douche because he didn't want to play second base.
Correct.
So I said, I wonder what side Big Mac will be on. So are you on the side that Anthony Volpe is a selfish douche, or do you say, yeah, I don't think that story's true, lay off the kid?
Well, that depends. Do you want my opinion on what I think happened, or do you want my opinion on your take about it doesn't matter? Because I totally agree with you. I think he's reached the Wilpon, for a time, James Dolan, Woody Johnson, where, especially Woody Johnson, with all the stories in The Athletic, you could write a story that he's keeping Sasquatch in the basement and he releases them from time to time just to create enough controversy around it. Maybe like, I believe that. I bet you Woody Johnson has that son of a bitch in his basement. Like, I think right now,
what a comp.
Like, I honestly think that Anthony Volpe, the minute you say anything about him, it will be believed, because he has fallen into the hole that Hicks fell into, that Donaldson fell into, that Gallo fell into, where he is perceived to be Brian Cashman's boy. We hate Brian Cashman. He's been unsuccessful on the field, and there is nothing, he should not be here, and we will believe whatever you tell us if it's some sort of negative comment.
Now,
about
what do you
him.
think actually happened?
I think that I'm trying to think about it. What I think happened was he did indicate he'd rather not go to second. And then when Michael Kay heard wind of it and went asked, like, it wasn't a hard, I am not playing second base, I'm only a shortstop. The Yankees didn't go at him and say, hey, you're going to play second. They were like, what do you think about playing second? Well, I'd rather not. And then the rather not got to the rumor, and now it's like, well, he never totally denied playing second, but he didn't love the idea.
Yeah.
So my guess is they didn't firmly say to him, you're playing second base. They said, hey, what do you think about moving over to second? And he probably was like, well, I've never done it. I've always been a shortstop. I feel more comfortable at shortstop, especially coming off the surgery. Like, I'd rather just stay where I'm comfortable. And he got wind of that, and now it's like, well, hey, wait a minute. Like, he didn't firmly deny and refuse.
It's somewhere in the middle.
It's somewhere along there. It probably was discussed, and Anthony Volpe said, I'd rather not. And now he doesn't want to do it.
The problem I see with Anthony Volpe is he should be Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario was a top prospect for my team, got traded for Lindor, and at some point in his career, it was, hey, you can be a major leaguer, but you're going to have to do it differently. You're going to be a lefty masher. You're going to play 5 positions. Right. And now, because you have no affiliation with Rosario as a prospect, you like Ahmed Rosario, like good little ball player. That's who Anthony Volpe needs to be. I don't know if he could ever do that here.
Can't.
Because you will never, and I don't mean you specifically,
correct,
can never get out of your mind, well, he was a big prospect. Like, in a weird way, that's going to be Brett Beatty's issue.
Totally agree.
I look at Brett Beatty, and I say this to Met fans. I was like, he could be a major leaguer next year. He's a guy off the bench. He plays 5 positions. Why not?
Right.
But to some Met fans, it's like, no.
Right.
He's the top prospect. Now he's this. Well, yeah, sometimes top prospects have good careers
and that's just
as utility players.
And that's just not a New York thing, because I got a call yesterday asking me if you think Volpe's the guy who can't play in New York. I'm like, I don't think it's the stress of being a Yankee or New York. It's being the face of the organization, the big prospect, the guy who's supposed to come up and be successful. And when he's not, it's hard to recover that. That's hard to recover as a San Francisco Giant. That's hard to recover as anything. It's not specific. We'll talk about Yankees and Mets because that's what we do. But, like, it's just the idea that in this organization, he was supposed to be something special. It's probably why he doesn't want to move to short on some level. It's probably why, it's never going to work here. You're right. He can't be that guy here. He could go be that guy somewhere else. He can't be it here.
This happens in football all the time. It's going to happen with Kayvon Thibodeau in that because he was picked so highly,
correct,
if he's not a superstar here, he ain't worth it.
No.
Leonard Williams was that from my team, and then
Right.
we traded him to your team, and you viewed him differently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Leonard's got to be a Hall of Famer. If he's not a Hall of Famer, we view him in a negative light.
Right. No, totally agree. But here's the problem. He's not Leonard Williams. He's not even Rosario. He's a 660 OPS dude.
I know.
And it's consistent. And that's why it drives me nuts whenever you guys talk about, you were right, the injury last year was probably worse. He's been this same exact player. You said it the other day. It is stunning.
It is crazy.
How consistent he is. He's the same dude year in and year out.
His offense has been the same, or at least his final product of offense is the same because his power's down and his strikeouts are down. So he's getting there differently, but his OPSs are exactly the same, but his defense has gone backwards.
Yeah.
And that's tough to explain.
No, of course. And I know there's metrics that say he's still a good defender.
Well, they're
and
lying.
I don't even like Caballero. I don't like Caballero. I did a lot of the show yesterday saying Caballero has to be the starting shortstop. Not because I love him, but because when you watch, he can turn the double play. And it's just at the point now, fair or unfair, and I think this is part of the problem with the Yankee fan with Volpe. When the ball is hit to Anthony Volpe, I go,
yeah.
That's just like that's a sneeze. That's an inner, I can't manufacture that. That can't be made up. It's just an involuntary body reaction that I have when the ball gets hit to Anthony Volpe. I go, when it's hit to Caballero, I don't.
No,
they win when he's behind, when he's at shortstop.
That's misleading.
No, well, they've played better. I know most of those games are with Judge at the beginning
come
of the
on,
season.
we need context to that.
I understand
stat.
that. And yesterday he embarrassed himself. I don't know what that was. I have no idea. I don't even
we
wanna
were doing
speculate.
an investigation earlier. I think Emmanuel Barbari
I spend
nailed it.
all day screaming that guy has to be the starting shortstop. The fan base is beside itself because Boone made another comment that we didn't like in the postgame, and we're starved for this guy.
Yeah.
And he just puts his hands up and hopes that it's ball 3 and a ball 4 and a full count.
If it makes you feel any better.
It doesn't.
It's a sickness.
Well, no, I'm going to try to make you feel better. I haven't done it yet. 2.5 Ricos ago, I said Austin Warren deserves an A grade for the season he's had. Since then, I don't think he's gotten an out.
Who's Austin Warren?
Oh, get out of here.
Who's Austin Warren?
Get the hell
You mean
out of here.
Will Warren?
Austin Warren.
Oh, on your team. I think you're talking about Will Warren. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about...
I thought we were talking about the Yankees.
I said the Rico. I just said 2.5
I'm
Ricos
sorry.
ago.
Why
would I be talking about...
I thought I had you misled on Will Warren. I apologize.
Oh, no, Austin Warren's the guy who got MVP chance, remember?
Yeah, no.
He's a reliever.
I know who Austin Warren is. I just, in my head, I thought you said Will Warren's name.
No, you listened
Yes.
that I said the Rico.
Yes, no.
Anyhow,
okay.
get the hell out of here.
All right, I'll see you later.
right.
I'll
Big
be on
Mac.
it too by myself because I'm insecure and don't think highly of myself. See you too, everybody.
No, I was talking you up. I was trying to make you feel better.
Well, I don't feel like talking myself up right now. I'm miserable. This team is making me miserable.
Oh, okay, the Knicks won the NBA title.
They did, didn't they?
That's going to be my answer to anyone who bitches about anything in sports. Because everyone's a Knicks fan besides me and 12 other people. Like Joe B., and this will be tough because I'm a Jet fan. Week 5 at 0-5. Bro, I can't believe. Joe, they won the NBA title this year.
Joe was screaming about the Mets 1 week later after the finals.
That's true. But did anybody remind him that the Knicks won the NBA title?
I don't think so.
Dude, I'm telling you, that is going to be my line to everybody who's a big Knicks fan. I'm just going to, you can't bitch about that. Knicks won the NBA title. And I pray for the day that you get to do that to me. Let's go Knicks. No, I don't mean about that. I mean about my team winning an NBA title or an MLB World Series or a Super Bowl or anything for that matter. We'll come back with more of your telephone
He's
calls.
keeping Sasquatch in the basement. I bet you Woody Johnson has that son of a bitch in his basement.
Yeah, that was funny. We'll come back with your calls, 888-808-1019. It is Evan without Tiki and without Morash.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The U.S. falling on their face Monday night, the average American sports fan may find it tough to stay engaged in the remainder of the World Cup, but there's a story that could give you a rooting interest. It's best to plug into what the legend Lionel Messi is doing for Argentina. They were dead in the water with a little more than 10 minutes left yesterday. Then they put together a rally, including another Messi goal to stay alive in their attempt at defending their World Cup title. And if there's one thing American sports fans love, it's crowning an all-time great. I'm Chris Madden.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang! Sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice-proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey.
It's the summer's biggest party, highlighted by Monmouth Park's biggest race. Dress to impress for Haskell Day, Saturday, July 18th. General admission to the Jersey Shore's biggest event is just $15. Arrive early to receive your free Haskell hat. And make plans to come back Saturday, August 15th, to meet me, Al Dukes. Continue the Shore's great tradition at the summertime place to be, Haskell Day, July 18th at Monmouth Park Racetrack. For more information, go to monmouthpark.com.
Summer's heating up and pest season is officially here. Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, and wildlife are becoming more active across the greater New York area as summer temperatures rise. Enjoy your summer, not the pests. JP McHale Pest Management helps protect your home, family, pets, employees, and customers all summer long. With local offices around the tri-state area, their local experts are ready with seasonal residential savings and free commercial inspections. Visit nopests.com. That's NOPESTS.com. JP McHale Pest Management, not just good, guaranteed.
If you're a small business owner, choosing the right wireless provider can make a huge difference. Trust me on this. That's why I've always and only partnered with Verizon Business. Their My Biz plan makes it easy to build a wireless plan that fits the exact way you work. Period. Stop. Get the flexibility and reliability your business deserves, including built-in security or international calling. Connect with a Verizon Business rep today at verizon.com/bizfans and get started right away.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Your New York Yankees are chasing another championship. Talk Yankees baseball with the Fan at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Indeed. Evan and Tiki, without Sean. Oh, real quick question, and then we'll get to your phone calls. 888-808-1019. I'm laughing because I think this question is amazing. And I'm going to let Connor do it. It's a long-term prediction. We like to do that here at Evan and Tiki. And then we actually fulfill it. Like, once the results are in, you'll hear the audio from a year ago or 2 years ago, and we see how we did. So last night, the New York Mets lost the baseball game 16-12 to the Kansas City Royals. The archivist of Evan and Tiki asks this question, as we ask it on July 8th, 2026. Will the New York Jets score more points in Week 1 than the Kansas City Royals did last night at Citi Field?
I love the Jets.
Absolutely not. No way.
Absolutely.
The Jets are going to score 10 points Week 1. Who they even play Week 1?
They play Robert Saleh, man.
Oh, they're going to get shut out. They're going to get shut out.
So let's further this. If they're not going to beat the Royals' run total, so you're also saying they won't even eclipse the Met run total, which was 12.
No, they're scoring
10. Yeah, 12.
They'll score. They got a field goal in the first quarter and then a garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter. They'll lose 35-10.
What a goddamn disgrace.
So the Jets will be outscored by either the Mets or the Royals from the July 8th, 2026 baseball.
I hate this team. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Royals baseball team, if they put on pads, might be able to beat the Jets.
Here's where I hesitate. First of all, let's not, put Robert Saleh's defense and Robert Saleh's recoaching debut like he's automatically got to go to camp.
All gas, no break.
Number two, the Jets should have a functioning offense. Like, this offensive line is solid. Say what you want about Geno Smith. He is an upgrade over the position last year. You're talking about a healthy Garrett Wilson, a very happy Breece Hall, tight ends that are skilled. Like, that should be the strength of the team. So I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say that the New York Jets outscore either the Mets or the Royals. Week 1 against Tennessee, they will outscore the Royals-Met game from July 7th, 2026.
The fact, though, that this is even a question is not a good sign for the Jets. It's not.
They stink.
Will they outscore the Kansas City
stink.
Royals?
Great idea, though, Dan. We appreciate it. Let's get to your calls. 888-808-1019, the number. Ray is in Brooklyn. Good afternoon, Ray.
What's going on, Evan? Just wanted to touch on your point from before about your new favorite Yankees Twitter account. You'd stated that the last 5 years there were some of these teams that also went through a swoon like the Yankees. Two-part question. Did any of those teams that they named come up more than once, or is it all different teams? And in addition to that, you said that we're still relying on Judge, which is true. And then you look at the record without Judge. He's obviously our closest hitter to batting 300, and we're still relying on the home run. Like last night on the broadcast, they said that 62% of the Yankee runs have come via the home run, and the next closest team was like 40% or something. Why isn't there a line out the door for a guy like Luis Ariz, who's batting 300 plus every year, just to diversify this lineup?
Yeah, Luis Ariz has been interesting for a couple of years. I warned people about him. He's not a good defender. He's not very fast, and he has no power. But on this Yankee team, a team that needs more of what you just described, you can live with that other stuff. I'd be interested in Luis Ariz. I wonder if a world can coexist with both Ariz and Jazz Chisholm being on the team at the same time. I think the answer is probably not.
Jazz Chisholm.
So there's a chance Jazz is in that trade or he's in a separate trade. Now, to answer your question on the research that was done beautifully by @YankeeSlut, in terms of the other 90-win teams, there were 5 90-win teams, 5 of 41 over a 5-year period that had a stretch as bad or worse than the Yankees had in that particular year. The 5 teams were all one-off teams. No one did it multiple times. The Blue Jays, Guardians, and Mariners in 22, the Rays and the Rangers in 23. So it furthers that no one's done it multiple times. It is so uniquely Yankee to go through one of these long swoons in the middle of the summer. They are like the only good team that consistently does it. And what I was saying after we found that out due to that great research is, okay, now why? Great, we got the information. It's always great to get the information. Now you got to figure out why and try to fix it. And my only theory is their over-reliance on Aaron Judge.
And that's why it's tough, Evan, when people criticize him in the World Series or the playoffs or whatever it is. Look how bad this team is offensively without him.
Oh, they
need him in the lineup hitting home runs because they don't really generate offense in a lot of other places outside of Ben Rice and Bellinger.
I'm telling you, man, and I will use my era of baseball. I can't go back to Ernie Banks with the Cubs or Ted Williams with the Red Sox. In my era of watching baseball, I've never seen a team rely on one player as much as the Yankees do and have it such a level of success and failures with and without him. Like, there's an award called the MVP, and it's always a dumb debate. It's not the Player of the Year award. It's who's most valuable. Aaron Judge is most valuable. Like, I could make an argument he should get votes this season.
Yeah, because Shohei Ohtani has so many guys in his team that are good hitters. It's the Yankees, when they don't have him, they can't hit.
It's a different world, and the results show you that. Mark is in Oceanside. What's shaking, Mark?
How are you, Evan?
Good.
Good. I have to have a disagreement with you about Francisco Lindor.
Yes.
I think it would be wonderful if the Mets got rid of him. And I'm going to enumerate the reasons why.
Okay.
Number one, he put the thumbs down sign, which tells you something about his character in his first year, if you remember, when he was unhappy with Met fans. Number two, couldn't get along with McNeil. Rumored not to get along with Nimmo and Alonso, and we know he can't get along with Soto. So maybe the problem is him, not all these players that he's getting into it with. And I think he's a player on the decline. And if you can shed some of his salary and bring in a young prospect or two, I can't see why you wouldn't want to off this guy. And remember, it clears a lot of salary to bring up. Every time you say, I don't know who's going to replace him.
Sure.
Every time you trade somebody with a salary, that clears salary to take on other salaries.
Okay, so a couple of things I agree and disagree with. Is he a player on the decline? I think naturally because of his age. I'm not even judging the small period of time this season, but just based on his age, sure, he will be a declining player. Number two is relationships with other players. I don't really care that much about it because in 2024, he was highly regarded as the locker room leader. So even if he didn't have a great relationship with Jeff McNeil or his relationship with Juan Soto is still not perfect, and I don't know if he had anything to do with the departure of Pete Alonso or Brandon Nimmo, I know enough baseball reasons and contract reasons why the Mets didn't want either guy back. Like, I've heard enough of it. Brandon Nimmo's contract was a negative contract. They wanted to rid themselves of it. Pete Alonso, they don't love his defense. They were concerned how he was going to age. They didn't want to give him a 5-year deal. Like, those are the real reasons to me why those two guys are not here. I think the story around Lindor is more a story and like this thing we tell ourselves than it is the reality. So those things I don't put a lot of stock in. And then you talk about being better off. I don't see how they're better off. First of all, they cut out 2 years of the Nimmo contract by bringing back Marcus Semien. How do you feel about that? And that's not to put Nimmo over, because I know there was a lot of backlash last night. There was a Brandon Nimmo chant, which I didn't hear. I heard Fire David Stearns, and I heard Pete Alonso. I never heard a Brandon Nimmo chant, but who knows? It could have just been in a different section of the ballpark. What people don't understand is no one's chanting Brandon Nimmo's name because they miss him or because they'd be better off with him. We understand the influence that Ewing and Bench have now had, and Soto's an outfielder. Where's the room for Brandon Nimmo? No one's chanting the name to start a baseball argument. They're chanting his name as a symbol of what David Stearns did to the franchise in the offseason. Let's not get literal with everything. Sometimes we're too literal. Like, oh, why are you chanting Brandon Nimmo? Look at the outfield right now. That's not the breakdown. That's not the emotion of the woman or man at a baseball game on a Tuesday night while it's raining outside and they've watched the Mets suck all year. They're not breaking down the intricacies of the outfield. They're merely saying he's one of the images of an offseason we didn't like. So stop being so freaking literal. Seriously. We got to stop with that. But I don't see how the Mets are better off without him. I don't. Taking back a less worse contract that's probably not a better player, a la Semien for Nimmo. And then you talk about, well, you clear up the money. Clear up the money for what? First of all, Steve Cohen's got more money than anybody. He don't need to clear up money for anything. He wants to go buy a player, he can go buy a player. So I respect you, Mark. I just disagree with you. We have a fundamental disagreement on trading or keeping or the value of Francisco Lindor. And that's okay. One person's right and the other person's wrong. I'm just kidding. Who knows? I may end up being wrong in this whole thing. Let's go to Matt in St. Augustine, Florida. What's going on, Matt?
Mr. Roberts, how you doing today, buddy?
Man, what's on your mind, pal?
Your old pal, ex-baseball coach, White Plains. Ev, I don't want to bore the baseball fans out here, but Volpe, he just needs to go down to rookie ball, whatever, get a tee, raise that tee to his head, okay, and take 500 swings a day and just get on top of the ball. The fact that he even hits the way he hits, 210 with some home runs, shows how talented he is. His swing is the worst swing in baseball, dude. He needs to watch your boy Soto, who takes 2 hard swings down every time he's up when he's practicing outside the box. And he needs to watch Kyle Schwarber. These guys swing down, and guess where the ball goes? It goes up. You create backspin. Every time Volpe hits the ball hard, it's got topspin. Ev, can I make fun of your boy McGonigal for a second?
Of course. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
I hope he's listening. So over like 10 years ago, it had to have been, I got into a fight with Mike Francesa on the air. He made a stupid comment that McGonigal made a few months ago as well.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't say that. Okay. And the comment was this: you dummies out there, you're all dummies. The Yankees are built on power. The team that hits the most home runs wins. That's the statistics. That's the data. They say that all the time. So I'm going to steal something from you, Ev. You always say two things can be, what do you say? Two things can be true at the same time?
Yes, two things can be true at the same time. Yes.
I love that line. Okay. So saying what McGonigal said and what Francesa said years ago, that's so obvious. When the sun is out, it's usually warmer. I mean, duh. The team that hits the most home runs is usually going to win. You don't build your team around those guys. Those guys are all the same guys. They're corner position players. They get hurt. They're not good defensively. They can't run. They're all the same guy, and they strike out a lot. Some of the biggest home runs in Major League history, Evan, and we're the same age, were little guys Jeter's home runs, Rajay Davis, Bucky Dent back in the day,
Jose Altuve,
David Eckstein, Juan Pierre, Altuve. Chase Utley wasn't a power guy. David Freese wasn't a power guy. He was a 15 to 20 home. Like, they're just good hitters. Remember when Tampa ousted the Yankees during the 2020 COVID season?
Yes.
Remember that guy with the home run? He's not even in the league anymore. He was a little guy.
Mike Brousseau, I think was his name. Yes.
Whatever the hell his name was, dude. It was so unexpected. The big guy, I mean, A-Rod 09, you had a caller before, Juice. Bonds 02. They didn't win it, but he carried them. Juice. I mean, Pujols was a freak because he was a 330 guy, but I just don't understand why everybody and their mother who calls this station, a guy like me who played collegiate ball, played minor league ball, it is so obvious that what they're doing is just not correct. It's not. You can't build a team with 25 home run guys. It's impossible.
Yeah, and by the way, I think that is the proper usage of two things can be true at the same time. I think you laid out beautifully, which is, yeah, the team who hits the most home runs tends to be really good and has won the World Series. Like, the facts will back that up. But you don't want to just go out of your way and build a team squarely on hitting home runs. Now, what's funny is I look at this current Yankee team and I say to myself, all right, how are they built? We know they're striking out a lot. We know they're very reliant on the home run, but go position by position. Like, Ben Rice is a young player that they've developed. He's having a huge power season, but I don't look at him as someone that relies on the home run ball. I think Jazz Chisholm has sort of become that, and maybe it's the contract he's looking to get. Maybe it's the 50-50 declaration, but Jose Caballero is not a player like that. I don't think Ryan McMahon is a player like that. Cody Bellinger is no longer a player like that. Cody Bellinger is a weird guy when you look at his major league career. Because when he first came up, he was a huge strikeout power guy. He's not that anymore. Like right now, Cody Bellinger's massive slump is not about his over-reliance on home runs. So what's funny about your point, I agree with it mostly, is I don't think this team was built necessarily as an all-or-nothing team. But yet it's become an all-or-nothing team. You know what I mean? Two things can be true at the same time. Put that in your pot and smoke it. Anyhow, Garrett Cole
I think it's put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Oh, is that?
Not in your pot.
I mean, you could put it in your pot and try
triage decision.
A lot of phrases today, baby. Idiots with idioms is going to be a busy, busy Friday. We'll talk about the importance of Garrett Cole tonight, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. It is Evan and Tiki, without the Tiki and without the Sean.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonades plus vodka. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside.
The road to kickoff 2026 starts now. From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/New York to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/New York, and with FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure and has all the betting markets you could possibly want. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Must be 21, please drink responsibly.
Hey, Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Monday, July 20th, when the Yankees host the Pittsburgh Pirates, and be ready to receive a traditional Yankees giveaway. It's Yankees T-shirt night, presented by Sato. The first 15,000 guests will receive a Yankees T-shirt. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Pirates for Yankees T-shirt night presented by Sato on Monday, July 20th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
This is a test of the New York City Emergency Alert System. In the event of an actual emergency, this system would bring you important information. This test of the Emergency Alert System is now concluded.
Sponsored by BetMGM. Own your moment. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. World Cup quarterfinals kick off tomorrow. I think France's defense will be tested in a big way. Morocco tried to be ultra defensive when they played France in the World Cup semis in 2022. They lost 2-0. Didn't work. Morocco has to be the aggressor. I think their offense is good enough to get at least one goal. Morocco to score in regular time is nearly even odds. I think they do it. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Enjoy the excitement of the World Soccer Championship with Schweppes Ginger Ale. Crisp, refreshing, and full of classic flavor. Schweppes Ginger Ale is the perfect companion for every thrilling match, every big save, and every game-winning goal. Pick up the iconic taste of Schweppes at your local ShopRite and enjoy it while cheering on your favorite soccer team. Make every match a winning experience with a delicious Schweppes Ginger Ale. Available at another winner, your local ShopRite store.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. A whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer, only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit-flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
Kohl's knows summer comes with a few family debates, like what's the best ice cream flavor, or who gets the good pool noodle. But when it comes to Kohl's summer outfits, everyone's in agreement. They're comfy, they're cool, they're stylish, and they're here to make everyone's summer feel a little easier. Shop now for looks that the whole family will sign off on at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Listen weekdays to Evan and Tiki for the Call of the Day. Brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The savings are here! The savings are here!
Happy birthday, America!
It's America's 250th birthday.
We're celebrating all month long at Nielsen Dodge
by giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
With leases for $250 or under.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $250 a month. Yes, just $250 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 24 months, due at sign, 6343, add tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Don't miss Conor McGregor's epic return against fellow icon Max Holloway at UFC 329. Saturday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Paramount+.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Listen to MLB Insider Calls on WFAN all season long. Presented by Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Start your day with Boomer and Geo. Join the conversation weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
This Fan Focus brought to you by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. ChefIQ.com. Quick update on the LeBron James sweepstakes. The decision part 4, I think. Part 5, maybe. According to Shams Charania, he's spending some time with Draymond Green this week. We had the update yesterday that the Golden State Warriors are not serious contenders. Brian Windhorst said he's talked to people in Philly. And their belief is that he's going to end his career where it started in Cleveland. Windhorst said, quote, "Nobody in Philadelphia seems to have much optimism." So it seems like kind of makes a little bit of sense to go back there to wrap up his career.
I'm at the point where I'm kind of bored because I just assume it's Cleveland.
Yeah.
I am now under the assumption that he's dragging this out. He's probably filming stuff behind the scenes. And this is all so he could make his third Cleveland Cavalier debut and go back home. And by the way, that's where he should go, if you ask me. Obviously, it's his own decision. He can go wherever the hell he wants, but it makes perfect sense. But I'm no longer interested in the free agency. I was a few days ago, but the more you think about it, the more you know he's going back to Cleveland.
I don't like LeBron James.
And even if he goes somewhere he wants to chase a ring, he goes to a better team like Philly. If he does win one, everyone's going to say, well, he got carried. He wasn't the best player on the team and blah, blah, blah. So at this point, does it really even matter? Maybe it's just best to end it in Cleveland.
It depends what you want. So, for example, and I think Bill Simmons is the one that said this the other day, if he goes to Philly, and I don't think he is, and you just mentioned it, the Sixers don't think he is, but he goes to Philly and they win an NBA championship, we saw how we reacted in New York to the Knicks winning a title. It would be very similar. It would be a huge deal. And LeBron James would be an icon there, like forever. LeBron James would be an icon in the city of Philadelphia. And while that doesn't mean anything to me, and it doesn't mean anything to you, and for the national media NBA discussion points, it won't change his legacy, maybe he wants that. Maybe he likes the idea of never having to buy a meal in the city of Philadelphia. I don't know.
Rocky and LeBron James, the two heroes of Philly.
It's true. I just don't know what he wants. But I am under the impression he'll go back to Cleveland, and I would be very surprised if he doesn't go back to Cleveland. Let's put Garrett Cole in the window seat. The window seat, of course, is brought to you by Windorama. Save up to 40% on new windows and doors. Garrett Cole has been a clutch postseason pitcher for the New York Yankees. It's just the facts. Like, when they've made the postseason, Garrett Cole has now made 12 postseason starts. He's pitched to a 2.93 ERA. And really, unfortunately for Garrett, there are two memories that people have, and they're both negative. Him not covering first base in Game 5 against the Dodgers in his last postseason start, the 2024 World Series, and unfortunately the wildcard game he started in 2021 at Fenway Park where he got chased after 2 innings. But the reality is Garrett Cole's been a really good clutch pitcher. And even in the regular season, when they've had those rare big moments, I think of his return to Houston, or one of his returns to Houston right around the All-Star game a couple of years ago, when he was as dominant as we've ever seen. I trust him in a big spot. And this is a big spot. You know, we laid it out before this series began that winning 3 out of 4 would be nice, but a split at the bare minimum. Because if they have any worse result than a split, the tiebreaker goes to Tampa, and the math just becomes challenging. Doesn't mean they can't overcome it. Doesn't mean they can't win the division. But I'm just telling you, between the tiebreaker and the deficit they created, it just makes things tough. So they need to find a way now, after they've split the first 2 games, to win one of these next 2 games. And with Garrett Cole on the mound, you need a big performance from a guy who at one point in his career has been an ace. And one of his better performances, when I think of Cole in the postseason, is actually him pitching on short rest against the Rays in Game 5 of that odd division series back in 2020. And I'd love to tell you where the game took place, but I have no idea. It was a neutral site. So maybe it was Texas, or maybe it was San Diego. I think it was San Diego. I think they put them in National League sites because it was an American League series. Either way, it was a Game 5. It was on short rest. It was against Tampa Bay, and it wasn't Garrett Cole's fault that the Yankees lost that Game 5. Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go to Jay in Belmar. What's up, Jay?
Evan, it's July 8th. I ask you, come the end of the New York Jets regular season, will this be a team that we are proud of? Yes or no? That's what Aaron Glenn wanted for the fans, and he failed miserably last year. Does he deliver this year?
Am I proud of the... So that is such a tough question, Jay, because what would make you proud as a Jet fan?
So if they're winning a game and the guy hits a 50-yard field goal for them to lose, I'm not proud of it. It was competitive. I just can't have my wife come and say, like, turn this game off after the first quarter.
So you have a very low bar, is your point. That's it. I think if they are playing meaningful games in November and December, then I would say, all right, I'm kind of proud.
Play call is my superpower, really.
But Aaron Glenn is the one who said that last year. For those that don't remember the reference, before the season he said, what's a successful season? Jet fans have to be proud. We have to be proud of this team.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
I think that in year 2, in which, let's be honest, he's coaching for his job. Like, there needs to be a level of success. Otherwise, Aaron Glenn's going to be fired. I think you're talking about a competitive season where we're sitting here in November and I'm breaking down playoff scenarios. If there is a show and a realistic Evan and Tiki Jet playoff breakdown scenario,
The New York Jets suck.
then I think I would say, all right, there was a season.
I hate this team.
I was proud of this season. That would be my bar. Is that your bar, Connor, as a Jet fan?
If they just are competitive and give you something.
Yeah, meaningful games in November.
Oh, yeah. Meaningful games in November for sure.
Okay.
I just want to see, where it's cold weather and there's at least like a little bit of a chance they could sneak in. I'd be happy with that. But a lot of fans want them to be terrible so they can get a top pick. But I can't. I can't do it over, especially like we're Nets fans too. I can't do these tanking seasons that never seem to work out anyway. Just at least be competitive.
I can't do it. And I think what helps me feel comfortable debating anyone who's going to argue with us is that they have 3 number 1 picks. And so if there truly is somebody that they want, now they may not trade to number 1 because if a team is taking a quarterback and they're set on taking a quarterback, there's nothing you could do. I think we saw that this year with the Raiders and Fernando Mendoza. But you were at least set up to move up for a quarterback, one of the quarterbacks that you desire. And that at least is making me realize, all right, I don't want to sit here thinking that losses benefit us. Just go out and win games.
Especially after last year where they lost the last 5 games by 23 or more points, like the first team ever to do that. So it's like you just got to be in games. When you play the Bills, make it competitive. Don't get blown out. Look at least like a competent NFL team.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so there's your
That's
answer. I think we're all universal. That's what would make us proud as Jet fans. But yeah, that was his quote last year.
And maybe intercept 1 pass.
Just one?
Just maybe at least 1, and then we'll get the ball rolling after that.
I'm telling you right now, the Jets are going to be top 5 in the NFL. Nah, top 5 is too much. Hold on. Let me top half of the league in takeaways.
All right. I don't know if I believe you on that.
I don't know if I believe myself either, but I just think that sometimes takeaways are about luck. And the Jets, besides just being bad, were very unlucky. Like, to have a season in which you don't have an interception, you have to admit, there's a level of luck that's related to that.
The last time was 1934, where the forward pass was barely even invented, and even they intercepted a pass. Like, not one deflection or tipped ball or anything.
That's why I think this year it just goes so far the other way. They will be in the top half of interceptions and or takeaways. Limo driver Ed, what's up, limo driver?
All right, Evan. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you, I got 2 things here for you. One's about our Mets and one's about our Jets.
Yes.
I knew yesterday before I went to bed, because I knew I had some early flights I had to pick up my clients, and I turned around. I said, you know what? I seen the score. By the 5th inning, it was 12-9. And I said to myself, as a Mets fan, you get so used to custom. I knew they was going to lose that game. I knew they can't control it. I knew our pitching was not going to hold it. And what happens this morning, I go look at the score, 16-12. I just, it's just, I knew it. Every time they're on the field, if they take the lead, you know they can't even hold the lead. I don't know what these pitchers are doing and what is the problem, but they are terrible, bro. Terrible.
Well, I think there's a couple of issues. Number one, I admit, I actually thought they were going to win. When it was 9-4 and Soto hit the 3-run home run, I didn't think they were going to lose. They're playing a team as bad as they are. They're playing the Royals. And to what happened, Kodai Senga is not a major league pitcher. And I think the Mets have to realize that. They have tried everything. They put him on the IL. He went on a rehab assignment. The guy cannot face major league pitching, whether it's as a reliever, whether it's as a bulk arm, whether it's as a starter. I think they've got to tell Kodai, either you're going to the minor leagues or we're going to designate you for assignment and just write a big check. That's number one. Number two, Austin Warren, who was unpitchable yesterday as well, he just went on the IL. So maybe the answer to Austin Warren is that he's hurt. And number three, they asked a kid to make his major league debut. He's 31 years old, so I don't know how good he is to begin with, that he's making his major league debut at 31. And again, I feel bad. He's a local kid. I wish him all the best. And he couldn't get anybody out. And you know what's worse for Mike Seelinger? It's bad enough that his dream of making the major leagues, and it's in Queens, it's with the Mets, the team he grew up rooting for, it's bad enough that the outing was terrible. Like, that's bad enough. Can you imagine if you're Mike Seelinger, you're a 31-year-old Met fan, and you know what? You listen to Frank the Tank. You listen to Joe Beningo. You know these people because you grew up as a Met fan. And you're just scrolling after last night. You're like, it was a bad night. But let me get on Twitter. Let me try to distract myself from the world that I'm living in. And all of a sudden, there's Frank the Tank. And he's saying this about you?
And then you bring in this guy, where is he? From Farmingdale College? Matt Sealinger? I mean, where in the motherfucker did you goddamn... This guy couldn't even pitch a year league. I heard Stu Feiner took him I mean, what in the are we doing here?
By the way, I think I've been calling him Mike. He's Matt Sealinger, so my apologies too. I feel bad. So imagine you're this guy, and then you got to hear that from Frank the Tank. That's a rough existence. That's a rough couple of days for him. I really hope he gets another chance.
Because you are incompetent!
And I hope he pitches well. And by the way, my apologies. Matt Sealinger is his name. I have had a very tough time with his name recently. Like, even on the drive home Rico that I did last night, I could not say his name. I was like, that guy, Rieminger, Bingeler. I don't know why. It's like a weird mental block. So my apologies. Oh, and one thing about the drive home. Apparently, there is a guy who's very unhappy with the drive home Rico. He says it's unsafe. Let me make this perfectly clear on how a drive home Rico is executed. I set everything up before I ever start the engine and the car is driving. When I'm driving, it's like I'm talking on a Bluetooth.
Do you have your hands at 10 and 6?
My hands are at 10 and 6. They're always on the wheel. And I'm driving. I'm just talking. So what I would ask anybody who says, hey, man, that's not safe, I don't like that. What am I doing differently than someone that's driving legally with the hands-free device? That's all I'm doing. I'm hands-free devicing, but instead of calling somebody to bitch about the Mets, I'm doing it to a YouTube audience and to a podcast audience.
It's like anybody who has a speakerphone conversation in the car. Except you just have a bigger audience. That's it.
I don't see the difference. That's why, like, people have said that to me. Oh, yeah, it's dangerous. I'm like, what the hell's it? What is if you think it's dangerous, which I respect, then you think any kind of talking while driving is dangerous. We just need to be consistent about it. So, sorry, I got to defend myself here. It's like, oh.
As long as you're not texting, I guess, is the only thing.
Excuse me?
As long as you're not texting during it.
You said sexting. Have you ever done that? Sexting while driving?
No, I have not.
That'd be
a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to text while you're driving, but now you're sexting while you're driving? That's some craziness.
That's got to be illegal.
It is. I have a lot of questions, but I'm not going to bring it up in this forum. I think it's the wrong forum to break this down even further. So instead, we'll say good afternoon to Adam in Islip. What's up, Adam?
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm a Toronto Raptor fan, but DeMar DeRozan is either going. It's looking like the Raptors or the Knicks. I didn't know if you thought he'd be a good fit in New York.
He's out.
And if you thought the Raptors
He's
had
out.
a chance.
He's out on the Knicks. I think the Raptors make a lot of sense because he gets to finish where he started. But I heard this morning that he is not interested in going there, and it's just not going to happen. By the way, how about this critique? This is an interesting one. I just got this in my email from Kevin. Please stop calling professional athletes a good little ball player. It's so condescending to the very best athletes in this country. You did so with Ahmad Rosario today. You've done it with many players. It's like calling Buzz Aldrin a good little astronaut.
Well, I would say it's a little bit different when you got a ball player out there who's like a young guy versus an astronaut who went to the moon.
That is some comparison. It's like calling Buzz Aldrin a good little astronaut. I do not mean it to be condescending, Kevin. I'm the first to tell you I am not a good athlete. I wasn't a good athlete. There were certain aspects of sports I was good at. Like, I'll name two things I was good at sports-wise. Defensively at first base. 3 things. Defensively at first base, I set a mean pick in pickup basketball, and I was actually a really good bowler back in the day. Like, I was pretty good. I don't know if I'm good anymore.
Bumpers or no bumpers?
No bumpers. Come on, man. 211 at Woodmere Lanes.
Wow.
I hope they still have record of it.
You have your own ball?
I do.
Wow.
A left-handed ball.
How about that?
It's slightly tilted, apparently, and that's what makes it a left-handed ball. So I acknowledge I am not a great athlete. When I call a baseball player, any professional athlete, a good little ball player, I think it's more an attribute that they're good. They're not a superstar. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even this poor kid that we've talked a lot about today from Westbury, who did not pitch well last night, Matt Sealinger, the guy's an incredible athlete. He made the major leagues. We all know that. I mean, it is an incredible accomplishment to make the major leagues. It's an incredible accomplishment to make the minor leagues.
To play college baseball at like a Division I school is an incredible accomplishment.
1,000%. Like, I think we all know that. So again, like the literal police, we got to calm down on the literal police. Like, we don't have to be literal about everything. It's like the Brandon Nimmo chants I mentioned earlier. We're not literally saying, oh, I wish Brandon Nimmo was on this team because he'd play DH and he'd play left field and what. No. People are chanting his name because they're frustrated with where the season went. And so sometimes to show your frustration, you just say things. And so you chant Brandon Nimmo's name or you chant Pete Alonso's name. There may be a Jeff McNeil chant at some point. Actually, that won't happen. I went a little too far. There will never be a Jeff McNeil chant. But people will chant when they're angry. That's the bottom line. Anyhow, great job by Connor Green, MVP of WFAN. Tiki does return tomorrow, so we'll have a 2/3 edition of the Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash program. If you missed any of today's show and you actually want to hear it, you could rewind it on the free Odyssey app. You could download the Evan and Tiki podcast, or the entire show was broadcasted on YouTube. Coming up next, you got Big Mac on the Carton Show. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone.